Bah!
Welcome back. I give up on any attempt at professionalism with this team. Love y'all.
How could you be
Not my
professional with Varso here?
Yes, yeah.
Professional, I did nothing.
Varso.
I know
Varso's the
who Barry
problem
White
one.
is.
As one of my coworkers once said, we're professional as shit.
There you go.
We professional as shit.
We take those.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So are y'all ready for
Alright.
this infiltration type thing?
We're already
I
infiltrated.
keep
We're
going.
set.
Did you?
get it on.
Did you really?
Yeah.
All right. You've successfully made it into the emissary section. It's a harsh change of perspective as you guys walk up these stairs. The party's still going, but it's much more schmoozy, way more classy, and delves into even a little weird as you look around and see an intense shift in upscale dress, mask, and it looks as if there's an overall like tone to the place. That kind of tone where even though you're now in here and you should belong since you're in here, you still don't feel like you quite fit in. You came to the party underdressed, like that kind of feel.
I'm never underdressed.
I'm in a
excuse
tux.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're underdressed. I said that kind of feel. Like you just
dressed
feel
up
like you're
dressed.
not meant to be here. That said, though, eyes do seem to be on your group a little bit, standing there. You are here. So, what is the plan?
Let's clarify first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we grouped up as the five of us, or are
I
we
think
still
so.
in our separated groups?
I understood that you guys were attempting to group up as the five of you, so I was going to allow it. Obviously, if... Now, remember, we have some things that have happened, like Moat is following people around, supposed to be filming them. If Moat just leaves, that is another thing that may get left out in the open kind of thing. But I'm saying, like, you guys can group up for 5-10 minutes without losing that.
Okay,
Without raising the flag.
So 2 questions. One, I believe we were kind of texting each other, just at least communicating enough to know the situation for everybody, right? Like that we made it in and everything like that?
Yeah.
All right, so that's 1. And then 2, I would say for right now, we are going to be like grouped up in the sense that if one person came from one end of the stairs and the other from the other set of stairs, that we like found each other at least visually, if not kind of like standing at the other end of the courtyard and like keeping an eye on each other, because there are others in the mix. Now I believe Eisen, Dr. Lennon, and myself are completely free. We got in, we don't have any like add-ons, and then you and Mo and Tetsu are together with other people.
And
So if-
Tetsu can pretty much float around. It's more Moat who's kind of locked in.
Okay. I'm just gonna turn to Eisen. Just follow my lead on this one. Come on. And I just like look at Dr. Len to like just stay for a second. And I'm gonna like look, I'm just gonna approach very quickly towards Moat.
Who is currently in the process of, framing some shots and telling the 2 nobles to kind of stand with your backs towards the big building and look fancy, and gonna get some like sweeping shots with Wasp as it flies around, gets an image of them, and then looks over at the party, and then comes back to these 2 positively snobby individuals.
They are taking it in as well. I won't go into everything that's happening, but they're taking it all in and enjoying the heck out of it.
Oh, Toya, looking so good.
Oh, are you Hal? Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry. Am I interrupting? Oh, Hal. You're Hal, aren't you?
Can you see I'm busy? Yeah. What are you doing? Who are you?
Okay, so I am a huge
I'm so sorry.
fan of you on VastTube. I follow you. I followed you since early on in your career, and I would do anything to feature in your video tonight. I heard you were gonna be here. please, can I like pay you for your time? Like can we can please, I'm so sorry, can I please?
Since the mask is staying in the green swirl moat, Hal's hand goes up and strokes the bottom of the mask. Oh, it's so nice to meet a true friend. So I don't want to tell you no, I can't do that, but I am kind of busy with the two brand new members of the Queen's Council right here. It's going to be so hard to get two such fine individuals to wait. I would hope you would stay around, and since you are here, I suppose you would be around, and possibly we can find some way to make them look good and make you look good as well.
No, I'm sure, and maybe you can wrap up, but like, I didn't want to say anything, but like, you know, I'm not nobody. Like, I can pay you handsomely, if you want. And I kind of glance over to the people, like, maybe you can wrap up here, and then here, how does this sound? And I like just lean in and like whisper, I'm trying to get you out of this, and come back out. Like, how does that sound as a number?
You hear in your mind.
Sorry. During this time, they've been kind of like bringing their phones like up to their faces and stuff, and they kind of look out and. You said you're on VastTube. We can't. Hal? What's your name? We can't seem to find you.
I just start laughing. Oh, that's cute. No, he's an exclusive membership. That's cute though. Okay, so Hal.
Give me a deception roll.
No, please no.
Yeah, take this over for me. You have it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to
This is
like
how we
extract
die.
you from the baggage so we can like be free to go
Yeah, I
and do
know.
stuff.
Social media kills again, people.
Yeah.
Zeha's like, I'm gonna swoop in, distract, and get him out without ever rolling a die.
This is a bluff check.
Yes.
18.
Okay.
This is
You see them look up, they kind of lean over to each other, talk for a second, and they say, exclusive. Well, as long as you're publishing this to the news network like we agreed to, we don't want to be hidden under any kind of exclusive rights or anything, but if it is going to the news network, then I think we could work something out, get some shots, and then we'll go on our way to the Queen's, and you can go on yours.
Of course. Any sort of standard deals. It's works out the way so that usually when somebody wants something done, they like to have a bit of exclusivity, but there are several individuals who pay very high premiums to be in the know, and it seems as if our friend here is very in the know. I apologize, I wasn't so forthcoming about it, but yes, no, I for sure intend, boss man, to get this to the news, and then when it's all out there, I can send any information to you about the rest of my business, and perhaps you might be interested in seeing what else I've been up to.
Yes,
Tetsu
well.
steps forward.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, Tetsu steps forward and goes, "You said you were meeting with the Queen."
You see the guy kind of look towards you. Yes, and how? We will trade information, and again, there's no need for you to follow us inside or anything. We'll just finish up with the pictures here, and you can go on your way, and we'll go on ours.
Tetsu speaks up again and goes, "You are meeting with the Queen, and you want to use Hal's services for an exclusive site. Maybe that could be a good trade, access to maybe meet with her."
Oh, trust me. Our names are trade enough.
Well, actually, you said you're meeting with the Queen. I look at like my comm unit. How long?
Yes?
Like, how long is that gonna be? Is that like soon? Are you guys gonna? And I looked at Hal. Are you gonna be done soon? But I'm wanting them to answer.
You see them kind of glance to each other for a second, and the lady speaks up, kind of steps in front of the men now. Yes, we will be done soon.
Okay, so your
Darling,
meetings.
we really
like,
don't
soon.
have much.
We're letting Hal go with you soon, because, Miss, we don't plan to pay. Our names are plenty enough.
Arrangement. Yeah, they gave me the inside look at this place, so I will finish my arrangement with them, and then I can absolutely be taking the time to make sure that you have your fun as well. By the way, the whole time that they were starting to have that conversation, Moat was beginning to log in and create an account under Hal on Bastube, and as soon as it's created, like it's the Iron Man thing, like just stuff is going on inside the mask. It's like, oh my god, and just like beginning to upload different old footage of Wasp doing crazy shit on different places.
Recording wild fights that we just had in like the forest and shit. Like,
yeah,
we become known for that. Excellent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Waffles.
Yes.
Eisen, especially with this entire scene, has kind of taken a step back as if like the doting male companion to Marveau in this moment of like
For sure.
just like being the eye candy.
I was like, who's Marveau?
It's Marveau.
Marveau. Look, I'm gonna mess that up every time.
It's fine.
It's Mar for short. It's all right.
Yeah.
Mar.
So, we still have the microphone and the listening device from from the Silver Drake, right? I believe so.
I think so. Yeah. I don't remember that getting used anywhere.
We left there in quite a hurry, so I don't think at any point that was like given back to them.
It didn't get planted on anyone either, right? Like,
and I specifically still have the receiver. So
yeah.
And I would have collected the microphone from it because it's a set.
Sure, that makes sense.
Can I, in the process, lean down to Marveau and say, "Darling, you did promise me a dance," and like whisper in her ear and slip her the microphone. Try to plant the mic on one of his companions. It might help us get information on inside the castle.
How big is the thing, and do I think that that's doable?
It was small from what I understand. It was like the lapel. Like,
yeah, it's
thing.
Quite small. It is like a clip-on type mic, so you would likely have to clip it on without the other one seeing it, like in a place that they wouldn't see it, and or like drop it in a pocket or something. It would be mechanically, it would be quite the sleight of hand roll.
You know what would be really good for this type of a role?
A rogue. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean that too, but a chicken nugget. That would be. I'm just gonna put that out there in the universe to anybody listening. Chicken nugget. Okay.
And Eisen will help here by like being bright and like he'll up his light level to like help draw their attention to him and be like showing off his muscles and like trying to like draw everyone's attention to him in this moment so that she can maybe have a little bit of like cover to like bump into them or like get like PDA with Eisen in a way that like makes things awkward enough that she could maybe slip something.
The risk reward of this, y'all, is very high.
I'm gonna
is
go
the reward high on this though?
I'm gonna go ahead and drop us into this initiative order here.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Like, to be fair, Zeha can
gun.
decide that it's too risky and not
That's
do
fair.
it. But like to get information inside the embassy to figure out like what is going on.
My thought is if they're meeting with the queen, we can know for the entirety of the meeting, if we can listen, that she is occupied, and we might be able to know when she's leaving and going to the scientist.
Exactly. That's assuming that they're not like scanned and it's not found out and like tracked to us. But we can deal with that
considering that
later.
they're apparently well known, I don't think so, because like that would be beyond that. But is there like before I do this, from my knowing of this technology and from having used it before, is there a range restriction or something? Like, this is an item that we don't actually have stats for, so I just want to make sure that this isn't completely pointless, that if we're buildings away, we can still utilize it.
Everyone, we're going to kind of jump back in time here since y'all would have likely looked it over in the ship and stuff. Everyone give me a computer's check that has touched this.
Can I make an engineering check instead?
We're talking about the mic thing?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's going to be harder.
Mine's a 20.
Measly
Wait, 1
16.
sec.
25 computers.
Natural 1.
Oh.
Nice.
That's
Get it
12.
out now. Get it out now. It's fine.
Yeah, this is...
Breathe.
Zeha and Tetsu kind of, like everyone else was there, but they kind of came together and like talking about it, knowing Zeha, like knowing Mike's and Tetsu as well, like coming in with like some bodyguard knowledge, like probably having worn a wire at some point or something. You guys come to the conclusion, this is again back in time, back on the ship, that this mic would probably work under the range of about 500 feet. Walls would limit that. You get the sense that like each wall you're through would reduce it by 100.
Okay. Because I'm...
So two walls and 300 feet, like that kind of thing. But like you don't imagine you could stand on the like edge of the emissary district and listen to the Queen's meeting.
Sure.
Right.
I have very bad mental grasp of that distance, though. How would I apply that to our current situation? I'm looking at your map here, and I see, like, a big building in the middle, which is kind of like where I'm assuming we can say the Queen is now.
So
basically...
Yeah, so to kind of, this map is very representative, but to kind of explain how this map is, the big building in the middle of the huge building, like in the middle of this H of a building, is denoted as like the Queen's itself. Every other building is attached in some way, but are other buildings, if that makes sense. So you get the sense like one of the science buildings are one of those, but it's a completely separate building as to of itself.
Okay, but to put the distance...
And the walls...
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be at least 3 or 4 walls between us, which means at best we're looking at like a range of 100 feet if we're lucky.
To put the distance into perspective of you, you would have to be very close to the Queen's building and likely not inside another.
Okay.
So like you would have to be in like the Queen's courtyard or something.
And that'd probably be hard in and of itself.
Yeah. I nod to you, Eisen, and I'm debating if it's worth it right now, but it might be useful later, and it's good to know that we have this. So, for now, I will hold off, but I will kind of nod to Hal and be like, okay, very very well then. I'll be over here waiting. Just don't keep me waiting too long, okay? Like in that really awkward, I'm very annoying kind of a thing on purpose. And I'll just shoot a smile to the two and walk away. I'll like link arms with Eisen as we walk away. And then under my breath be like, oh god, that was terrible.
In your head, you did hear Moat be, after you said, yeah, I'm trying to get you out of here. Moat was just like, I know.
Yeah.
All right. As you walk away, Vivi kind of comes up to you guys and she's like, okay, so I don't imagine, she like immediately starts talking business. Okay, I don't imagine that the Queen is going to meet the scientists like anytime soon. She usually holds like a lunch type thing. I imagine she's going to do that kind of business at night. But we need more information too. Like I don't even know. Maybe the scientist already has it. Like we need to get more information on all of this stuff.
Well, those two over there,
If we can
and I
figure
kind
out...
of point across the courtyard. Those two over there have an audience with the Queen. If you want to ingratiate yourself with them, we can try to identify any more information.
I can talk to them a little after this. She like leans in and like looking around very suspiciously, and she goes, "Not around all of you. You don't exactly fit in up here. I don't know if you've noticed, and so it might be the best if you hang low. And she's kind of pointing to that feel I was giving you earlier, and it's like 99% elves up here.
Yeah, that's
The big red horned man doesn't fit into this setting.
Yeah,
The
like
lead
the
ghost is out of place.
Yeah,
Forgot about your
the half-naked
costume.
rock man doesn't fit in. Like,
I wore a tie, damn it.
I mean, to
I
be
was talking
fair,
about myself here.
like Aizen and Tetsu could, with a good bluff check, pass as a buff elf or something. Like just based. I guess Aizen couldn't because he's showing skin.
No,
Tetsu probably could if you have like a mask that covers your horn. Everyone else is like four-armed, a small gray, and a jellyfish. So
I could be
basically,
anything
she's
else,
saying she would
but-
have a. She's saying she would have a much better chance to collect information without even being noticed to be with you.
And that's
Right.
perfectly fine. I understand that completely. So, can we rely on you to identify the quarters of the scientist?
Yes, I think I could locate where the scientist building is. I won't be going in any of the buildings. That's why y'all are here. But I can definitely get you the information of where the scientist is located.
And we could likely help. I could probably identify it solely based on the equipment that would be there. Though I still don't know what this fellow does, as I am not supposed to Google him. And by Google, I actually said a different word that wasn't Google.
Excellent.
And you're muted, Tetsu, but she says probably what Tetsu is kind of saying is that she did mention that this scientist is into robotics.
Oh, my apologies.
The thing is that the first information we need to know is where we're going. And while Dr. Len, you could identify what the lab contained from the outside, we can't really be walking through these buildings, as like she mentioned, we are out of place here. So
if it's robotics, I might have something. I stealthily pull out wherever we're sitting. I imagine we're like at a cocktail table or whatever, and he'll just slide out from under the table the scanner. It gives +4 to perception search checks, and lets you do a whole bandwidth of things. So we could search for, if it's robotics, whatever electromagnetic waves they put out from the outside in.
For sure. I'll let you know,
That's
pulling
not a
that
bad
out
idea.
in the middle of a party would not be the best idea. Actually using it
Yes,
it'd be
but
yeah.
creatively, yeah.
For sure.
all right. Well, we could switch gears. Instead of attendees. Well, hold on. Vivi, do we have a risk here with you? And I kind of wave my hand for a second. Is there a risk of you being recognized?
As long as I don't go into any of the buildings, I should be completely fine.
So you only have to not be recognized by the queen herself?
Or anyone close to her.
Mental note, totally her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curious.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm very curious how Vivi has access to this district in the first place. That's throwing me off really hard right now.
It's
I mean,
all the-
she works for a rebel camp. You guys talked to old lady into dropping an invitation. I guarantee you she got one from somewhere.
And she's an
Yeah,
elf,
that-
which
she's
makes it
an
a lot
elf
easier
about
for her
her,
all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
She walked into the city.
Fair.
Yeah. But
She used her 9th level spell slot to teleport up here.
What?
Wait.
That makes sense.
She incinerates our brains.
look, one of the other options, and this is all us talking and chatting while we're waiting, basically on Hal and Tetsu, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, and I'm just kind of having this conversation, and minus Hal and Tetsu saying something, I'm gonna say that pictures happen, and you guys eventually wrap up in 5 or 10 minutes.
I would try
Unless you don't want to.
what I want to try is to see if I can convince them to. Let's play this out. At some point, Hal will walk over to Tetsu while some of filming is going on and kick him in the shin. And in your head you hear, so let's see if we can get them to take us through the let's see if we can get them to take us through the inside. Follow me on this.
Okay.
Boss man, what I'm thinking is it might be a good idea to see if there's a balcony out here that might be some good footage, some good heights. Is there any way we might be able to make our way up there?
You see them look around a little. Is there not enough beautiful architecture down here?
Almost certainly, but it's always nice to see what kind of seeing people in high places. Have you ever watched somebody stand on top of a mountain? It's always looking so much better than standing at the base.
Anybody can look at a building from the outside. Only the powerful can get on the inside.
And you are most certainly powerful.
Quote Tetsu.
Alright, both of you give me...
I'm gonna do the help action, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, give me a...
I will be giving you nothing.
I'll take bluff or diplomacy.
This is where my benevolent envoy gets helped.
I'm gonna do... Oh, wow, they're both -1.
You just have to get a 10. You just have to get a 10.
I'm so glad
I
it took
got
rings
a
and bluff.
13!
Okay, good.
All right.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oof.
I am gonna use one of my nuggets.
Oh, yeah,
Boy,
you
that
fucking
bad.
better.
4 is not gonna cut it.
It's gonna be worse, y'all. It's gonna be a
We'll
natty one.
roll,
Let's go.
we'll roll analog.
Yeah, real
on this
dice.
one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, no.
That one I can't control. I can control roll 20 because roll 20 listens to me.
No, it doesn't.
Shh, conspiracies.
So that's a 12 for a 14.
Plus
with
2
help is
for
a
me.
16.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay. You see them kind of look between each other. Then he kind of glances back to where Zeha's standing and says, well, we can make it quick. We will have to bring a guard with us as is protocol for... He purses his lips a second. Non-elves entering, but if we make it rather quick and get a picture and it's going to help the look of everything, sure.
I think it would help immensely. Thanks, boss man. Absolutely, whatever we need to do.
Alright, and this is when I'm going to go and drop us into the little tracker that we have going on in our little system that I'm in.
Cool.
What I was trying to say earlier, and it's going to relate to this, is what Tetsu wants to be doing as part of the setup is to be keeping track of kind of the guard movements, eyeing them, and kind of trying to basically map out mentally where they are and what they're doing, so that when we go into here, he kind of has a gist of what they're doing, because he has experience with this kind of stuff.
For sure. What were you going to say?
If we notice this, I would also send a text emote because it comes across his face mask to be take pictures of any security equipment you see, right? Cameras, stuff like that, so that we can figure out what the hell is going on in there.
I was wondering.
You get a text back saying that's the plan.
I was wondering if we could kind of wrap up our conversation, our planning conversation, or if that can happen after we're in the initiative tracker, but not take up rounds, I suppose, because
Yeah, that's not going to take up rounds at all.
Okay.
Are you talking with Moat and them as well, or?
No, we basically right now we're all having a planning conversation. Meanwhile, you know what I mean? VV,
Yep.
Dr. Len, Eisen, and myself.
Yep. So we can go ahead and wrap that up real quick if y'all want to. As basically it seems, you thought Moat and Tetsu were gonna come back over to y'all, but you see them walking off with the couple, and Eisen sending texts and all that good stuff.
I'll break seriousness conversation for just a moment to huff a little in case they glance back at me. I'll be and I'll turn to Eisen and complain about it, but then I'll be once they turn the corner or get out of sight, I'll be sorry about that. Anyways.
I like to think in that moment, like, you drape yourself over me, and then once they turn away, we, like, push each other apart.
Yeah.
just like...
All right, we're not. That's enough. Excellent.
So I
Yes.
just because that reminds me, are we still like? Len looks around himself and doing the like whole "I'm your boss" thing, or
No,
is the
no,
plan switching?
That should be over. The woman is not coming back up here, and she's the only one that really even knows about that. Though really, I
okay.
should get a raise. I gotta try. I try to crack a joke, see if it passes Dr. Len's mask. But actually, that brings up to the point that I was going to make. Up until now, we've been coming here as guests, as sightseers. But now up here, as Vivi has clearly pointed out, we are different and we stand out. So perhaps a different tactic is due. Admittedly, I don't know enough about how they operate this place, but Vivi, is there an opportunity for us to be part of something, as loath as I am to say it, entertainment for the evening, something that makes sense for strange things to be here, such as ourselves?
I am not
see
good
her.
on a stage.
You see her kind of look between you. She goes, honestly, for a party such as this, the only one that might not be out of place, and she kind of points at Eisen, is some kind of muscle. But muscle doesn't dress up for the party.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Look, I left my spandex at home, friend.
Well, perhaps we can put
I can
together
get to
something
the
else then.
professional wrestling.
I mean,
Maybe. I'm just telling you in the normal circumstances of what I know. I mean, let me say this. If you're up here, you're very important. If you're not enough. Take that and run with it.
Yes. I can do that, no problem. Because I straighten up. Alright, so Tetsu is dressed as in a suit, but he, you and Eisen, Rodin and Jonathan are able to be muscle, should we need it. Perhaps we should reprise the role of assistant and fellow doctor if we wish to have an audience, perhaps a very, very important, well-to-do doctor and his assistant.
Before we do that, I'd like you to take me dancing. One round around the emissary should be enough for me to get an understanding of their outside security, just so that when we eventually have to escape or grapple from the outside.
Darling, you're supposed to ask me to
You are
dance.
absolutely trying to dance.
I think we're gonna need to dance.
You should kiss me, but just like for effect.
Like tactically.
Do
Tactically
you like me? Check yes or no.
Eisen does not care about any of this. He's just like, this is what we do. Dancing is appropriate, yes.
And that was the VV or Zeha?
No, if Vivi cuts in and says, I'll be a better partner, Eisen wouldn't turn it away, but he assumed that Vivi had her own things that she wanted to do.
Yeah, she's been given a job, and unless asked, she's sticking to that so far.
Right.
The thing is, I think our biggest issue is going to find a way to get in without drawing further attention. So, two things. You, Vivi, are going to identify specifically which building we need to go in, so perhaps we can survey it from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Eisen is going to properly ask me to dance, and we'll do a round and come back. Dr. Ben, can you, meanwhile, build up some sort of credentials or internet persona of some kind to back you up as a doctor of some import?
Like start a space Wikipedia page or
Spacepedia?
I do have another idea.
Yes?
We may,
because if they start asking for ID.
if we need a distraction, the
That's
party.
dangerous.
He did bring some illicit material with him for recreation. If we could find where they're keeping the drinks, and he spiked
Sell
a
the
few-
drugs.
What specifically are you talking about?
He has his hallucinogens that did a number on Moat and that makes people go insane. If he
wants to
spiked
put
the
them in the
drinks
drinks.
with like 1 or 2 drops of that, like enough people would go crazy that like we could maybe pull some like
Perhaps they
heat.
would need a doctor.
Right, exactly.
Create a problem and sell the cure, I guess.
That's not a bad idea.
That's messed up.
I mean, he has the drugs on him. It's just a matter of.
Well, when we take a tour around,
If possible, I would like to avoid poisoning a very large amount. Hallucinogens can have a very adverse effect on your mind in the long term.
no,
Can
we're
I
not.
just-
We don't want
It's a
to
party,
cause,
Ben. It's a party. It's fine.
Yeah, we don't want to cause a
It
major
can be
ruckus here.
avoided.
We simply, and we don't want anybody to get on alert. Simply need a way in. So honestly, mild enough to get in and not mild and not extreme enough to become a problem. Let's do it. Let's do a perimeter and see what we have from here. Doctor, I don't know what you would like to do. Meanwhile, perhaps keep an eye on Moat and apprise them of the situation when they return. Hell.
Yeah,
Zeha would
I'll
be
keep
saying
that
the right name.
Good eye out.
Yes.
Sure.
What do you
Of
say?
course she would. Wink nod.
And after they leave, Len will begin creating like a just wiki page about Benakine, I guess, just like inflating it with.
Okay.
Like, oh, he has a bunch of like blah blah blah, like plenty of licenses.
Before
For sure.
All
before
the
we
So
leave.
many licenses.
credentials you don't have.
Great
I'm gonna
scientific
save that for your
purity.
first round action, basically.
Okay.
Before we leave, though, I'm going to remind you, have it be something that someone with robotics interest would be interested in. If that makes sense.
I'll put in that he's like peer reviewed a few like robotics things, like it's kind of his side hustle, like but
Androids.
He needs to be a article writer on the latest and greatest inventions in robotics, like the Michelin star person of robotics.
Did you just say Michelin star of robotics?
Yes.
So yeah.
So he makes food?
No.
The bridge here is artificial organs, ladies
There you
and
go.
gentlemen.
You mean
Right,
Nobel Prize?
No, like the person that rates, like they go to the restaurant and they rate for the Michelin stars, like he goes.
Yeah.
But for robotics.
Yeah.
Yes.
The headline
which
is
would be
"Are
the Nobel Prize.
nanites the future?"
now listen, Temple, I've brought a real life android. You're not gonna believe this.
I've never seen an
I'd punch
android
him.
ever before.
I mean, honestly, if you pulled Tetsu in, he'd probably, like, out of character, he'd probably be very interested
That's
in what
fair.
makes Tetsu tick.
Let's
feel
do
free to
just a
cut him
quick
off.
surgery.
I mean, Tetsu was okay with a goblin just sticking, like,
That's
his
true.
hands
That
all
was
up
my
in the-
buddy.
This is true.
That was my
That
friend.
was Tetsu's best friend. All right, let's get into this.
And I'm Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Hello? I'm confused.
Why?
My name is Jonathan. All right.
I got lost.
So I got a very blanket initiative order up here. I can drag y'all into groups as needed. I think Dr. Lin's by himself. Aizen's with Zeha right now, and Moat and Tetsu. Looks to me by the initiative order, we'll start with Zeha and Aizen. Actually, let's go over the whole thing again real quick. So, what you're in right now is the preparation phase. There is an amount of time that you'll be allotted. We'll all roll some 1d4s, me included, to decide that. The things you can kind of do in preparation phase, you can gather information, you can prepare disguises, plan instances, which are like very specific scenes that happen. Think like Ocean's 11. Like in instances, this happens, so Tetsu gets through the door unscathed. Like you get that is it's the very like boom 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 plan. And then you can set up things like for the cameras to turn off. That can be part of an instance, but that can also be just like I plan a power outage. Like, boom.
Mhm.
Argue what you want to do. Feel free to think out of those scopes. Like, if Dr. Lin Bin is setting up a Wikipedia page, that's not exactly preparing a disguise. It could like fall under it. There's a lot of different things that could happen. And this is basically, at the end of the day, at the end of this time amount that you're given, which is going to be a number of rounds, you should have a way to enter, and ideally a way to enter, know where the thing is going to be, and a way to exit. Now, once the action phase starts, things can go bad, obviously, but like you should have a plan to do it, and maybe a plan B.
Lulz.
Can we
Plan
figure out
B
when
are for
Vivi
plebs.
gets back with the information of what building it is? Like, does that come first, or does that come someplace in the middle?
So what I'm going to do, I kind of added this last time, just thinking about it. What I'm going to do is after every round, you guys can kind of convene, because this is going on like hour by hour. Like hours are passing during each of these rounds. So like after the first round, Vivi will come back with the information.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So like you guys can all go off for your first round and do something else. You can help Dr. Ben, whatever you need. It's going to take her a little while to do that.
Genuine question for you, Eisen. Do you want to wait to have that? Do you want to prepare something else for the first round until we know what building, and then just spend that time surveying like the correct building instead of the full?
I think that makes more sense. Like, I still want to know like the general security around the place, but like specifically around that building
targeting
is more...
that building.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I would theoretically think whatever security is around that building would be the same around everywhere else. So
now to think
it
what
would make
to
sense
do
just to target
that first round instead.
Yeah,
So
and you can let like Moat and Tetsu go first and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and roll our 1d4s here.
Do we all roll it, or is it just...
Yeah.
2.
4.
7.
Goodness.
4. Jesus, guys.
Hecka yeah.
4, 4, 3, 4, 4.
Max
And a
preparation time, please.
Woo! All right, what's that? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
I got
21.
21 rounds.
So 7 rounds if you use them all. We're gonna be going through it pretty quick. You'll get information for each round, so like rolling is gonna give you stuff. There being 7 rounds, remember, I am going to go through it a little quick at times, so we'll role play important scenes, we'll push past some stuff otherwise. Zeha and Eisen, you can start, or you can let Moat and Tetsu go first.
Let's let Moat and Tetsu go first.
Yes, that will give me something to do with my first round if...
Moat and Tetsu, you've already kind of pre-planned a little bit of this, so you are let up a building, the bottom rightmost building. I'll pull you back to the map real quick here. So the bottom rightmost building in the emissary district of the big ones, you're led up that building, and kind of as you're going in, you see them talk to the guards at the front door, and they eventually call for another guard to come, and you're escorted by another guard who looks to be carrying like a quite large, like some sort of automatic gun, and it's an elf. They look to be dressed very much like Tetsu, like in a suit. It seems the guards inside the emissary are less military and more like bodyguards.
Private security, yeah.
Basically, yeah. And you guys are let in. This building looks to be like a side entertainment type building, somewhere like, imagine the biggest inn plus bar plus garden plus like, this is where we send bands to play kind of place. Like, it's probably one of the better looking side buildings too, but which is why you're getting led up this. So you're being led up, you get into the middle area, which looks to be like a very large bar kind of area. Almost immediately led up some long curving stairs that take you up 2 stories, and you end up on like the 3rd floor, which they take you out to the balcony. The guard is standing at the door, so you can't go in, and you're all out on the balcony at this point. If you have any questions on like what you passed and stuff, feel free to ask.
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. On the way in, is Tetsu seeing any like server connections, like computer hookup points?
Overall, no. I'll tell you that without a roll. It's very much like what you experienced with an Upwell. Like if you had to hook up to a computer, it would be a very local computer. It's like just like restaurant type computers instead of large server databases.
But no like security like access point, like where they'd put in like a lock codes or anything?
Not through the room that you were sent through, no.
Okay.
As they were making their way through, Wasp was basically sitting on top of Moat's head and taking a recording of everything that they passed along the way. So Wasp would essentially have a recording of everything that could be seen. So the way security cameras are set up, potential like how heavy the guard is, whatever might have been seen. That's something that we can review and use for information purposes.
Okay.
And as for what Hal wants to do with the time, basically still playing it as a very much so above board type thing. They will have Wasp fly around and get some interesting shots, and at some point I'd like Wasp to shoot up into the air for some like really, really overhead shot type thing, and give some spiel of, oh yeah, this is a fun type of shot where you get huge overhead, and basically try to kind of make a slight pass around the outside of the buildings to see if and be recording so that like any potential views through windows or anything that might be visual from outside. So like if Wasp takes like a lap inside the between of the buildings, that's what would like to do at this time.
Okay. Give me, what did we roll last time for Wasp when Moat was controlling it? Engineering?
Piloting, I think?
Yeah, piloting, that's right. Okay, give me a piloting check.
And if you'll let me roll engineering, I'll do that too. But I'm going to base it off piloting.
I think piloting sounds the best.
No. It's a 1.
I rolled a 1, so I'm going to use another Owlbear Nugget.
Yeah, let's get rid of him.
One left after that. That one sucked.
You can't roll lower.
Hal crashes
True.
into an old lady and murders him.
Chat.
That is a
chicken nuggies.
13 for a 20.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's not bad.
What would you like to do this time, Tetsu? You just want to make a bodyguard check on the inside? Do you want to like what's your plan here?
So, if Tetsu thinks he can like, basically what he really ideally wants to get a hold of is one of those like pads that showed like the yellow flags and other things like that the guards had. So as we went through the checkpoints or around this guard, if I think there's any opportunity to make like a switcheroo type situation, Tetsu would love to do that. And if needed, he will use Prank to help him out on this, with the instruction of Prank to get out of there as soon as he can.
Oh.
Okay. Can
But
Prank
it's important.
Prank
Can't function. But he
What do you mean
can
Prank
be a
can't
thing.
function?
Like,
Okay,
he
so
can
he can like
become
turn into
whatever.
something.
Yes.
Okay. I
So
would
if I see it
I'll
like
let-
laying out, I just kind of
Yeah.
swap.
I would give. There's none laying out. Actually, give me a 1d100. Pick 10%. Let's see if any bodyguards just left their data pad by chance.
exposed. Yeah. We'll do.
You were so good at this last time.
No, I
Yeah.
rolled. I got flagged.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you hit the 15.
marker.
Hit the,
That's
yeah.
true. I hit my number. We'll do 90 to 100.
Okay. 91 to 100.
Oh, 91 to 100. All right, I'm gonna do it one at a time. If I roll a 0, it's 100. I got 2 zeros.
Okay. All right.
All right. Can I re-roll? I should have picked 1 to 2. Can I spend or 1 to 2? Can I roll with a chicky nuggy this last dice again?
Yeah.
Come on, Waffles. All right. Burn those chicky nuggies. 3.
It was a 10% chance at least.
Yep.
Wait,
All
you
right.
didn't re-roll the whole dice? Like that's the percentile dice. You'd have to re-roll the whole.
Yeah, go
thing.
ahead.
You can-
Go ahead and give that other dice a reroll too, and if it's a 9, we'll say you got it. That face.
Yes.
That face looks like it's a 9.
It was a 9?
Like, because like you're re-rolling a D100, right? Like you can't re-roll.
I
the
know.
tens
Well,
dice.
he asked to just roll the last one, but I'm down to, like, once he rolled a 3, I'm down to let him roll the 9 too. It's like a 10% and a 10% chance. All right.
So it's like a 100% chance. That's easy, dude.
That's how that works.
You see down on one of the tables, there's like 3 guards that are probably off duty drinking, and like as you're going up the stairs, you see them get up to leave, and you see one of their data pads fall on the chair that he pushes in.
Okay.
So
Then,
it's unattended, but you would have to somehow excuse yourself during, like, for your check kind of thing to get down there and get it.
okay, then
I
Tetsu
agree.
is just going to kind of go to the bodyguard guy and just as we're walking, he motions to the bar and says, "Seeing as I'm just standing here, I'm going to grab a drink. Would you like one?"
Give me a diplomacy with like a +6.
Okay. Okay, that's a 16. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 16.
He's like watching Wasp like fly around a little bit. Looks at you and goes, "Yeah, I could take like a whiskey, whatever they're serving down there. Just give me something good. Give me something strong."
Yeah, Tetsu kind of pats him on the shoulder and walks off and just goes to the bar and like stands where that guy's chair was and leans over to just talk to the bartender, get the drinks, gets himself his usual, well, he'll get a whiskey, 2 whiskeys, and then he'll come back and there will be a data pad in his pocket.
Okay. The 2 whiskeys do cost 20 credits.
Jesus! I was wondering if I was going to have enough credits to cover this.
Yeah.
Tetsu's pretty broke.
I will transfer them to you.
If Moat had heard about it, or if Tetsu requested, Moat could just discreetly send credits to help cover.
No, I'm
For
good.
sure.
I had 33. I'm good.
Goodness.
Moat for yours, Wasp flies around well enough to make it look like Wasp is like actually taking pictures, like you're doing a good job of that. And then through one of the passes, you're able to get like a pass between the large Queen's building and the 3 buildings on the right here. Basically giving you the idea that the buildings on the right are something less, the top one is something less uppity. You can't really tell from the outside like exactly what it is, but there's much less windows. It almost seems like a warehouse or something, but it's connected kind of thing. The building in the middle, connected to the Queen's Estate, looks like to be a like where maids, cooks, and stuff would live. Like it's just a uppity living quarters kind of thing, but not like the Queen's Estate. And then the one you're in, obviously, is what it is. As Wasp flies by the Queen's Estate, you are able to get like a peek inside one of the windows, and you do see that there's a lot of people in there. That's all you can really tell, though, by the quick peek.
Okay.
I want to make one quick comment on the bar situation, the bar stitch. Clearly this place is not fancy enough because the fanciest of places would just have an open bar.
That's true.
Well,
That is very true.
This queen
Maybe
is broke.
for not a festival, though. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe
or is
this
it the
is
fact
the
that he's a
tourist trap.
non-elf?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like, that's my gut feeling, is that it's actually an open bar, but like they're charging him specifically.
It's definitely an open bar for the other bartender. If he would have came down, he'd have got whatever he wanted.
Yeah. The Queen's area, like the main building, that's all open bar, but this is like the touristy areas that they're like, yeah, you pay.
Yeah, this is like the bar area, so. Okay. All of that seemed to work out great. That's your first round. Judging by how long that took, we may not go through all 7 rounds. I may just give y'all some extra information. All right.
That's fair.
Zeha and Eisen.
Makes sense.
This is just the first round before Vivi comes back with what building it is.
Yep.
So
Yes.
I think my answer is I'm going to see what happens when I ask where the bathroom is. Like, where do they let people go to be private?
Okay. Yeah. You ask random people, like a bodyguard, like what?
I ask a server, right? Like, there's someone
Okay.
coming around with like cocktail food.
Sure.
that-
Little elvish male. He's like, looks at you. He's like, oh, we're usually pointing people. You can either go to the inn building down there, or one of the outer buildings where we have a lot of the guests coming from outside of the continent stay. So these 4 outer buildings you see on the map are like small taverns, small inns.
Okay. But you said that the 4 outer buildings are actually connected to this big building through like air.
No, the
walks or
4
whatever?
outer that are not connected that you
Got
can
it.
see on the map here.
Yes,
Yeah, the smaller ones, those are like, basically the server kind of explains that those are smaller tavern inns, and the way he says it, those are like the out of continent people that come in would stay there.
Right.
And then he says you could go to the one that's connected, the bottom right, where Moat and Tetsu are right now. But he leads you to believe that that's not where he would go if he was you.
Fair enough. Okay.
And
Yeah, in that case, I would let Zeha do her thing with Len just in this moment, and I'd just go to the bathroom and like check out the wiring. Is there anything like just like check out that area in case we need to like stash something or need a place to hide? You know, just understand what these outer buildings are.
Okay. Go ahead, Zeha.
I'm going to, since I'm just waiting, while I am Kasatha, I, at the very least, have the culture and diplomacy to hopefully get away with this. So I'm going to distance myself from Dr. Len and Eisen as they're doing their thing, and I'm going to mingle as much as, not so much fully joining conversation, but she understands that you have to be either very, very important to be up here or you're an elf. So she's going to play into that, and she's going to carry herself with plenty of import. And she's going to try to eavesdrop / insert herself into occasional conversations where she feels it's safe and try to get information on the Queen's schedule. Clearly she knows people are going in there to have an audience with her, so how long is that going to last? And all under the pretense of like, oh, I don't need to, or like, you know, changing it up every time with like a different group of people to see if she can't just get a little bit more information on what exactly is going on in there.
You can spread some gossip on Moat's new friends. Be like, oh, I heard they're getting an audience. Can you believe it? You know.
Yeah, like talking down though, like, can you believe that they're getting an audience?
Right,
But I'm
exactly.
gonna change my accent, and I also have a mask and everything, but I'm gonna make sure that I'm not Zeha.
For sure. Give me a. Not gonna be culture. What's your
not?
profession? Because it's not.
I'm entertainer.
Yeah, give me an entertainer check. This is you kind of. This is like bardic performance type stuff almost. Like this is you kind of putting on a show.
Okay. That's an 8. For a natural 2
You need to roll better
rolls.
here, guys.
Actually, I have not utilized my hero point from Dr. Len's recap.
Is everybody going to use their nuggies?
I know.
Not during action phase.
I mean,
You're gonna
if
do the
I
actual
got-
stealing, don't.
If I got
I have another one.
more
I think it's okay to
from-
fail some of these things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's.
alright.
We're in round 1, but you guys are getting some good info already because of all the chicky nuggies spent. So
Yeah.
It's true. No, yeah. I mean, the 8's an 8. I rolled a natural 2. I'm not gonna spend my hero point, but I'm just gonna put out into the universe how lovely our audience is and how beautiful they are as people.
Get outta here.
And okay.
Stop wasting live
Just
air
your
with your
point.
pleading.
Just
and begging.
vision.
and then she wipes her nose, and all right, we're good.
Don't give a shit.
You, Zeha, kind of walk up, begin talking to some people. It's you get about 4 words in before they turn their back to you, and then you go talk to some more people, and the lady begins talking like over you. And it's probably it's not a bad mechanical hit. It's probably a worse hit to Zeha's ego, but it's very like 3-4 groups of people, and you're not getting anywhere.
And that's with eavesdropping as well, right? Like that's the combo.
Yeah, they're like turning their back to you. You get the sense like if they were talking about something anywhere near important, they switch to food, or they're like, yeah, the weather today, like really loudly, like basically telling you to buzz off.
Gotcha.
They're like, we see Kasatha, we don't want to talk, like that kind of feel.
You are not wrong when you say that it is a blow to her ego, and so she's going to like be legitimately annoyed. Like she was putting on airs, but now she's just gonna huff back to like Dr. Len, and she's just gonna grump for a little bit.
Eisen, you go in one of the side buildings. What's up?
I'm just saying that in this process, I'm also going to roll just a basic engineering check to understand like elven architecture. Like, what is these buildings made out of? Like,
Okay.
I just want to understand.
Yeah, give me that engineering
Blow it up.
check, and then I'll tell you what you get through what you're like searching through.
21 on my engineering check.
Okay. These buildings up here are much different than the ones down there. These seem to be made out of about 10% wood that is integrated with a lot of metal and technology. So like whether that's wood plating in some parts, like over the metal just to make it look old and rustic, or wires kind of run through different like wooden bars, like some of the staircases are wood while the rest of the building's metal, like that kind of thing. They just have, it looks like they've drifted further from the fantasy up here and leaned a little more into the future sci-fi element. As far as the restrooms and like these buildings go, they seem pretty compact. It would be mostly dead ends if you ran into one of these buildings, and maybe like if Moat was alone, you could see him running into the restroom and like jumping out of one of those small windows that are like pretty high. Like he would have to climb, obviously, maybe like jump off a wasp or something. But a bigger person like you or Tetsu couldn't chase Moat through a window like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's all the information you really get from that.
I would, while I'm specifically like checking the engineering in the bathroom, assuming like the stalls don't have cameras, I would check to see if there's like any like ceiling panels or things, so that I can specifically see like the metal, like how thick the metal plating average is here, in case I need to like puncture it per se with my arm.
Yeah, you get the sense you could puncture it and damage it with your arm. It's not like liftable plates or anything, but
okay. Yep. Then
yeah.
I'd go back once, like, I'd be satisfied, and then seeing a very grumpy Zeha as we, like, reconvene back at the table.
Particularly snarky at you.
For sure. Dr. Lin, you're creating a wiki page.
Yes, essentially. Len's going to try and create just as surface level, very reasonable of a wiki page as he possibly can.
Okay, and is
just
that all
about.
you want to do? Do you want to attempt to create like credentials? Like you want to try
Yeah,
to
that's what I was
do
gonna say. Like,
badge
and
or-
he's also going to try and just create like credentials, like papers that mention him, as much substance as he can in the time he has, but like enough so that when like you look up the name, you don't just get a single hit and you're like, huh.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm sure Len in his time could think of a lot more than I can, but just anything and everything he can to make like this identity seem reasonable.
I like it. Has anybody ever seen Lupin?
The third?
Yes, but we watched it together.
No, not the third. Yeah. It's a show on Netflix. It's like based on a book about like a.
It's a French show, and
It's a French
Oh.
show, and it's like based on a like the whole story inside the show itself. Like the person like follows this book of a roguish figure kind of thing. And the first episode starts off with him. He's like getting ready to steal this necklace, so he has to bid on it. He creates a wiki page of himself, and like while he's auctioning to like, because he doesn't have money, so he like creates a wiki page of himself to show that he has money.
it's like
And while he's auctioning, and while he's auctioning, he has to change his net worth because he has to bid higher. Like, it's pretty good. It's pretty funny. That's what I kind of like pictured when all this started. So
given that
Go ahead.
I failed what I was doing and I like ended up coming back to the table or like wherever Len is hanging out, would you allow me to aid him in this? Like grumpily be like, don't forget to do that.
I'll let you aid him at a -2.
Okay.
You kind of come in like a fourth of the way through.
Yeah.
I'm going to require let's give me a computers check. I don't want to make you roll at computers and medicine or anything. So computers check from both.
29.
27.
19.
Okay, so 21 with Zeha. You're going through, it takes you a little bit. You're not able to get some of the third layer of credentials. So like if someone was looking heavy into you, they would realize that the information stopped eventually. But you have the front facing that you could easily show someone to like get past a bodyguard. And you have the second layer that if they looked into you in like the seconds that you were there, they would find more.
Yeah.
A deeper dive would leave them with, they would eventually find out.
All right, then I may continue in later rounds.
Okay. With that, Vivi comes back and we'll see what she says after the break.
Boo!
Oh, come on.
I wasn't even ready.
I quit.
Yeah, I didn't even
Quick
see it
break.
coming.
Sneak attack.
We tailored the break message this time in particular to how this is definitely gonna go down. So go check it out while we be right back.
Mo and I were all success.
Yes. Well,
Oh,
we're successful
we are
now
the best.
yeah.
because you used all your hero points, and now it's just downhill from here.
It's not true.
I
I
think
have
we've
one
used like
left.
5. So
I do have one left as well.
Alrighty. We will be right back. Enjoy yourself. Take your own break, and catch you in just a couple minutes. Thanks, guys. And we're back.
Yeah.
and
Again.
we're back.
Guess
All
who's
right.
back?
80's back.
Step 1. Varso, I hear no music.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, you're so bad.
Okay, we have to start the stream
No.
over.
All right. Restart.
From the top.
3, 2.
Nobody gets their chicken nuggets
No.
back.
Whoa.
All right.
Neither do you.
Perfect. I hear music. I'm in the zone.
Oh my goodness, an explosion.
Goodness. A wasp crashed and died, and let a Wilhelm scream out. Feels
That
bad.
was Moat's Nat 1 again.
Wilhelm scream out. Moat and Tetsu, you guys have done some stuff thus far. That scene kind of ends unless you want to attempt to extend it to like something further. So basically, like the people have released you if you want to be released, they're like, okay, we got the pictures. The guard will escort you out.
I want the hell out of there.
That's where you are currently. If Moat is not trying to go further in.
If Moat can convince them to get any extra, B-roll footage of the area, which is just a way for Moat to try to get like images of like, say, hallways leading to extra areas as they make their way back. That's all Moat really wants out of it. Just a bit of extra footage of places they haven't seen.
I'll tell you, just for the question, no roll involved, I'll tell you that they are pretty quick to seem like they want to shut it down. Like they're like, well, we got all the footage we need. We won't be taking you into any other buildings, no other hallways. This is where you were allowed, and you can now leave with your bodyguard.
Did I get the contact information for Lonernul and Corsa to send them the info?
Yep.
Cool.
They swapped everything you'll need with them. Heck yeah.
I'm just gonna look.
It is y'all's round to. Actually, sorry, I started everything off way too quickly. Man, what a horrible GM. All right, give me a second. We'll come right back to that. Pause on that scene. Vivi comes back, and to Eisen, Zeha, and Dr. Lin, because Moat and Tetsu are preoccupied currently. Text can be sent, obviously, but Vivi says, okay, I looked around. I'm pretty sure the scientist building is the one to the northeast, as she kind of points to the top right building. It's the only building that there are no real... That's the top left, whoever made that arrow.
What did you say?
Just as a... Top right. There's no real... All of the other buildings have plenty of nobles in them. I know that the scientist, trust me, is not a noble, so I imagine that he is there.
Great. Glad that worked for you. Mumble.
All right, new theory craft, Zeha. That's not only the queen's daughter, but also the scientist's daughter. Ooh. That's why she's kind of salty and no shit.
I like that.
You think she's a half-elf? Nice.
Oh, right. I forgot he's not an elf.
Theory wrecked.
He's a human. Yeah, but she tells you that. You say that, Zeha, and she's like, did y'all run into any problems that I need to know about?
No. Like, I put my hand up, like, stopping her talking.
She kind of leans into eyes and is she okay?
She'll be fine. I think just a bruised ego. Would you like to dance now, madame? And he'll like especially when you like when you push off like Vivi, like he gives like an extra flourish and does like a full bow of like extra respect just to dig it in just a little bit.
It actually endears her like a little bit, so she'll like, yes, okay, but like be just a little bit less pissy.
Exactly, like it's as if he knows how to deal with these people. Someone in this attitude before.
What? And now just to clarify, like I'm basically what I'll do is I'll kind of more properly just kind of like hand, on his offered arm and go start walking around. Like if there's places where people are dancing, like we'll do that, but like I'm not gonna weirdly like just waltz the only people waltzing around the building.
Well, yes.
I mean, it would be rough to waltz about 6 miles around these buildings.
I was gonna say you waltzed a mile, guys.
What?
Impressive.
What we'll do, Rodan, is
Isaac
promenade. We will promenade around.
Eisen can do it. It's not a problem.
Okay. As you guys begin to do that, we'll get to your rolls in a second. Vivi kind of steps up to Dr. Lin. She goes, well, I'm not sure how I can help, now that they've kind of seen themselves out, I will procure a exit strategy.
Yeah, okay, do that. He's like half listening as he's just still typing away.
Sure. I will make sure we get out of here okay.
Okay.
We won't.
Loki, really necessary. So thanks, girl. Thanks. Because not a single one of us could think of that.
All right, that's what she heads and does. Since I started off preemptively, we'll pop back to Moat and Tetsu. Like I said, Moat, they seem like they're shutting you down super quick about going in other hallways and stuff. Tetsu, you have what you want, but basically you're kind of released out of the front door of this building. You didn't have time to reconvene with the party, but like you come out, you look for them, the party's not here. Now you can do what you wish.
So Tetsu has the little doodad of wonderfulness. He wants to do one of two things. Either figure out how to unflag himself with the wonderful brick of wonderness. And part B to that is he also wants to find out what 83% they think he is. Because Tetsu has no idea.
Don't get distracted
if
from
I
the
don't-
mission, bro.
Hey! It's my data pad. Back off.
Which one would you like to do?
Wait, I can do... Oh, of those two, I could only do one?
For this round, for sure. It's a lot of hacking, and it's... Let me remind you, it is highly... I told you that you and Zeha would know. It is highly not easy to hack into this data pad to remove a yellow flag. Like, you'd think you need the servers for it to be, like, a doable job. Not impossible, but it's probably a natural 19 or 20.
Well, so if
And
that's
you don't
the case...
You also don't know what countermeasures there are.
Yeah, obviously. So in that case, I want to be safe and do the responsible thing. So I'm going to look myself up.
Okay.
Moat would like to help, make sure Tetsu has as easy a time as possible with this.
Okay. Both of you, Tetsu with the main role, give me a computers roll.
Zeha
I wonder how hard it'd be
cries
to
in the
ping
background.
back.
23 to help.
All right. I got a 23 as well. So plus 2 is 25.
Not bad.
That's not too bad, not too bad.
Not too bad.
Goodness.
Tetsu's
Okay.
kind of just walking along, muttering, and just every once in a while hears Moat pipe up, like, nope, don't do that. Back out.
Okay. You look up your name, Tetsu, first. Nothing pops up. You look up Dr. Duro. Nothing pops up. It takes a while, but both of you eventually come up with the plan to start clicking on yellow dots and see what pops up. Boom. That's not me. Boom. That's not me. Boom. That's not me. Eventually, you click on one, and it's funny, Moat's helping, because Moat, unless Tetsu yanks this thing away from you, you get this information too.
No, Tetsu's just curious.
There is a face that pops up that is very close to yours without any machine parts. And it is... The name that pops up is Monk Butu. That is basically the word monk, B-U-T-U.
Monk Butu. Okay.
Yep. And it very loosely explains of like off-world mass murders.
Like a serial killer or like a raider?
Like a raider. Like
Yeah.
entire villages have been wiped out at the hand of this person.
So a serial
Why
killer.
did they let you in the city?
Hmm.
What?
Yeah,
Because
he
it
doesn't
doesn't match-
83%.
He's not this person.
83%?
Okay, yeah. He could be like his
Yeah.
son or something.
They like looked at his face like, this person clearly doesn't have machine parts. Nobody gets built an android to save their life, really. Like, honestly, like, that's not how androids work. Androids are androids.
Yeah, they're built from the ground up, not like robot-like body.
Yeah. So you are, you're flagged yellow for being possibly this person.
Only yellow.
Whoa, that's hardcore.
I
didn't do it.
What did I do? This isn't
What?
me. This is somebody else. See, they don't have the scar there that I have.
Because no one can get scars after a photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you got your ass kicked by somebody and, had to be saved. But, man, don't you remember anything from your time as a warlord?
I'm pretty sure I was not a warlord. I mean, I grew up on, I think, a ship, and I fight on. I don't remember much, no. But I mean, Dr. Duro built me, and I don't know that part. I think this is just a mix-up.
Yeah, and I'll pop in here to say, like, it's not completely off that it could be a mix-up. It's basically same skin tone, and it is for sure. What's the race that has the horn in the middle of their forehead? Kanobo?
Kanobo, yeah.
Yeah, so
Cannibal.
it's basically same skin tone, for sure. Cannibal.
Cannibal, got it.
Yeah.
Can I just, because it was
probably.
silent and only visual, I just really wanted to share it, that it was hilarious that when Tetsu said, I'm not a warlord, and then both Aizen and I just hold up like a fake piece of paper and point to it. It's like, no, it says right here, warlord.
Yeah, we just went down the list. No, look, if you go like,
It's right there, it says
pretty warlord.
Clearly written on your forehead, warlord.
I think it's just they assume people that are Kanobo are raiders, and that's why I'm flagged. To
Don't
be
mind
fair,
all
I
the
believe-
deaths that are listed under this person's identity, right?
No, they're just mixing up me with another Kanobo. It's fine.
And there's not an exact number, but it's like estimated 1,350 deaths.
Holy shit.
All right, never mind. I fess up. I'm just really good. All those.
Tetsu's like, don't mess with me, Mo.
And you're
Don't
only
take my
level
lunch money,
3?
please.
Mo, also, I just wanted to bring up, you kicked me in the shin a little bit ago, and
Uh-huh.
yep. I
It's just to
want you
get
to
your
know
attention,
I remember that.
I look, it means nothing. It was
I just pat him on the back.
It was a
Keep
prank,
walking.
bro.
I had
Tetsu?
my mask wiggles at the name prank.
All right. Yeah, that's what y'all get for your round. Zeha and Aizen waltzing the city streets.
Promenading.
Primal waltzing the city streets.
I
Very
assume we do the dirty dancing routine in this back, like this upper garden area.
Nobody puts Zeha in a corner.
I just run and jump.
By the way, I am going to roll acrobatics. We are, like, at some point in this, Aizen is planning on impressing you with dancing, if only just to be that guy.
Is that your plan for the round?
No, that is
Oh,
secondary.
come on, let that
like,
be a bonus roll.
yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so we are gonna go around. I would like to assist. Well, are you, Aizen, are we trying to very specifically use your tool thing?
No, I think that's too suspicious unless you think you can do it, like, sleight of handy. I'd prefer for you to do the perception and for me to do the identification with, I have a special background feat that will help me, like, specifically identify what the objects are. It will lower my DC, like, engineering or mysticism DC by 5 to, like, specifically know.
What objects though? I was about to say, let me explain the scene before we get super into roles here. Like, y'all are just dancing around the outside of buildings currently.
Specifically, any sort of traps or security, right? Like anything that like I'll read it off specifically. I'll find it.
Let's do.
Are there any other people dancing?
Well, no, I asked that already. Like, we're promenading around, and we're going to basically just go around as party goers type of thing. One of the... I want to know what is doing the sprinkler. I start doing the shopping cart. No, but I want to know, like, the scene, basically. So, with going around, we know we have a target building now. So, we're going to go around. We want... This is... Before we do, like, individual roles, I want to know, like, what we're trying to get out of this. We want to see security. We want to see entrances and exits directly to that building instead of having to go inside. Windows. Surveying the scene.
You can pick, like, 2 of these.
Well, I mean, like, a perception check.
I mean, yeah, I can give you, like, a very basic from the outside, you see this, or I can give you, like, intense details to 2 of these if like if the role, these rolls are round by round, sure, they're an hour by an hour, but they're planned. So like if you make a roll that encompasses all of security, maybe you step in partially down the hallway if you get a chance. Maybe you find the window to peek in, but it takes an hour to get that peek in without knowing somebody looks at you. Like, so I can give you a very basic outside perception, or you can pick like 2 and get some good information if the roll proceeds.
Looking at
I think the 2 that we really want is like the entrances through a window or like a door or what have you, and security. I think those are my 2. What do you say?
For sure.
Zeha?
And it's interesting though, because you said you wanted me to do perception, but I think your guard knowledge that you pinged, you're well versed in security systems, how to spot them and how to use them to keep people and places safe. Reduce the DC for engineering checks to identify technology and mysticism checks to identify a magic item by 5, provided that it's a security system, surveillance, equipment, and trap. But then it says, in addition, perception becomes a class skill for you.
Right.
I don't have great
like
perception.
actually finding it is a perception. Like, I only have for perception, I guess I could roll it. I have a +3 without my tool set.
I
figured you'd have a better.
And that's with it being a class skill for you?
Yes. I have a -1 wisdom, and I have 1 rank in it. So.
Rip.
Can I use something else to survey the area instead of perception? Would you allow me to utilize like my quick scan as a standard action over the course of an hour to help, like put my hand over any potential like security areas to gather like what exactly it is, as well as anything else?
You still have to identify them. So far the problem you guys are running, you could use quicksand after identifying them, but Eisen wants to use his skill after identifying them right now. So the problem you guys are running to is you don't have a way to identify them first.
Okay,
right.
I'll roll the perception, or however. The overall though is, like you said, we have like 7 rounds, but we're not doing all of this, right? So can we spend some time doing this basically?
We can go back and like if y'all feel here, so we're role playing out 1 more round because VV told y'all stuff. But if y'all feel here, we're gonna do the 5 more rounds, and you can definitely come back. You can come back with more people. Like you're gonna get more information. This is just a role played out round, so your character can feel good or bad about what they directly did.
Okay. So we'll kind of park ourselves somewhere outside and pick up a dance to occupy our time as while we're staying in the same area, and use that as like twirling around, and I will perceive.
Exactly.
I was about to say.
Do you want to use the tool that I have that will give you a +4? The scanner will give you a +4 to this if you want it.
Is it going to be difficult too?
So first I was about to say the kind of courtyard where this makes the little like the open rectangle for the Queen's building is basically where you need to go. You're focusing on the right, like scientist building, but the party's going here, so there is definitely a dance scene between Zeha and Eisen. Second, with that dance scene, it is going to be pretty hard, like with or without the dancing. I'll go and say, just so you don't hang on the words. It's going to be pretty hard to use the scanner in the midst of people, which basically, like, no joke, on the outside of the emissary place that you're in the midst of people.
Okay.
Like this like, you're not shoulder to shoulder, but there's people around everywhere out here.
All right, no worries.
So you would have to hide it, or like Eisen would have to body block you, and that would be his only action. Like, it would be something like that if you were going to use it.
Okay. Yeah, I will not use it. I will simply perceive. I'm trying to see if I have like anything for it, but I don't really think I do. Right.
I guess I could still help. Like, I could still roll a help check, I guess, right? With my own perception?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you a quick help for the perception, and then if she spots something, you can make... She rolled that one. You can make your check afterwards. Sorry, I was already halfway laughing from the comments.
So Zeha...
Who is lifting up who? Zeha's got 4 arms. That makes for light work, right? So she lifts up eyes.
And
I'm very
just
heavy.
want
No.
I
I'm
just
a
have a
many-handed
question.
master.
Like, Zeha,
Yes.
you're a spy diplomat, right?
Yes.
All right, I just want to make sure that this is exactly where you should be, just killing it.
Uh-huh.
Roll the 20s.
You know, that's a great point. But I'm less of a sneaky thing and more of a diplomatic talk my way through things.
I think she was a little thrown off by Eisen's amazing dancing skills that she just couldn't look around for the security.
I need this to be fact. Before you roll to help me with perception, make a dancing check and tell me if you're really good or really bad. That's distracting.
I'll let you said acrobatics. I'll let you make acrobatics if it's not going to be like professional dancing, but it's going to be a type of dancing if you want to make acrobatics. And or you can make, is there like a performance equivalent in here?
No, there's not. That's the thing.
Gross. Oh, you don't have any, you're not a profession dancer.
No,
That's
I'm
for
not.
sure.
Make it just a dex, maybe?
That's why I was
Yeah,
thinking acrobatics.
Just give me acrobatics. It's still like, if you're not a profession dancer, like you're not gonna have like super dancing kind of going or anything, but
No, but you can still surprise me from being a soldier bodyguard to actually having like knowing. I think what the surprising part is less like the skill of dancing and more the skill of the dancing and more.
How about
the
a
fact
nat
that he...
20?
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
I told you, I called it.
Heck yes.
There we go. It's a natural 1 perception because Eisen rolled a natural 20 dancing.
Literally,
Zeha.
Zeha is like going to like, so she's not paying attention to you. She goes into the dance and like looking over your shoulder, clearly just trying to like keep an eye on the building. And all of a sudden you are like full on like bust a move into the proper dance that like she did not expect you to know the moves to this dance. I'm thinking a little bit more like Victorian England where there's like designated dances for high society.
Yes.
Like
I
raising
feel like
the
we're
roof,
doing
yeah.
some sort of waltz. Like at some point he says, "I'm going to
Like
lift
a
you now,"
party rock
and he just does like a twisting lift and like catches you and puts you down.
She is like so taken off guard that she legit gets flustered for a second and gets thrown off of the like gets into the dancing and dances with you and forgets to pursue.
I like it.
Can
You
I just
guys
roll a
like-
perception check just to
That's
see what I would
amore.
have done?
Yeah, for sure.
Please roll on that one.
Give me that perception check.
19. So I would have done pretty well.
A natural 16. Eisen's killing it. Yeah, you're looking around, Eisen. You're catching like glimpses, but you're also highly focused on this dance. So like basically how I imagine the scene to go. Like everybody's kind of dancing. Like no joke. Eventually, you guys get like some eyes on you for this dance, and not in a bad way at all. It's like wow, they're not elves, but this is like a kind of elvish dance, and like it's kind of not, so it's highly interesting to us, and they're not paying attention to like who you are or anything, just more the dance itself. And at the end of it, like you guys are kind of walking away because you guys had so many eyes on you, and I just imagine Eisen's like, yeah, so what you see?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, the distraction seemed to work. Did you catch everything?
Oh, and like her like hands are like still on you, and she like, and she like realizes everything that just occurred. Like takes her hands off you, takes a step back. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I got. You're a good dancer.
I had to practice a lot.
Hells, I think we might need to get a better look.
A drink.
And she's like flustered. She's legit like, she didn't mean to have a nat 1 on a perception, so I'm gonna play that up.
19
She
sense
wasn't-
motive. Does Isaac
Goodness.
catch the...
Stop using all the rolls!
But natural 18.
Save some for the rest of us.
Give me, if you're trying to hide it at all, give me a bluff. If not, then you can play it out.
I will. No, I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna counter the roll. Like, it's a good roll. So you see that she is probably a little flushed, like blushing a little bit, but also from the dance, like that's kind of not easy to tell. But
Yeah.
she, while dancing, was a great dance partner. Like she was focused on the dance, and you think that you took her by surprise, and she's looking at you a little bit differently now.
She's not wooed, but you rocked her.
You're close. You're close, man.
No,
Hey.
we're ending the show right now, Leap.
Hero
The pun.
point for me. Let's go.
Have enough hero
puns.
points.
I think at seeing that you're slightly flustered, Eisen will get slightly flustered because he wasn't like. I think you could tell during the dancing he wasn't totally looking at you. He was looking a little bit like in the like foreground at something internally. Like he wasn't totally dancing with you when he was dancing.
Okay.
And I think that realizing that like he danced that well in that moment also makes him slightly embarrassed, but you can tell for like a different reason.
So you're saying that Zeha would kind of realize that he wasn't in the moment at that time?
He was replacing you, like he was with someone else in that moment during that dance.
So
Yeah,
that'll
we
kind of
Tetsu.
like
Playing hard to get.
as she realizes that's the case, she goes from like especially because like just prior she was pretty like upsetty spaghetti, like with everything that happened. It's my favorite word, upsetty spaghetti.
I love it.
I blame Nox for that, by the way. She totally entered that into my vocabulary. But when she realizes like because you know like when you get to that point where you're like, oh, caught up in the moment, and then you realize that person is absolutely not, on the other hand, she like takes like an extra step away and just turns around and starts like kind of like walking back or like around to the other side of the building, like sorry, and like just doesn't really know what to say, so she just walks away. Like she's a little upset too, you know, in that ego way.
Yeah, and like Eisen doesn't matter. Like he's just impressed that his skills didn't like degrade. Like he's just like understands that you also kind of failed your portion and doesn't want to rub it in. And so it's like she's, you know, embarrassed. I'm just gonna let her simmer. It'll be fine.
Aizen's a savage.
Tetsu walks up as like they're walking away and goes, "Guys, we got all the info we need, but their security system can't ID people. It's kind of bad. Confused me with this completely different Kanobo."
Real quick before we jump into that, Dr. Lin.
Len is just gonna keep playing on his iPad like he is a 2-year-old iPad kid just tapping away.
All right, give me a computers check.
Watch this one. Bam, that's a 21. I'm awesome.
Hey, nice.
Hey,
You are
Hey!
awesome. Unfortunately, it was very close to the last one. Unfortunately, you still didn't meet the DC. You're able to kind of solidify the first and second again, like you go back over them, but you're not able to get into, like, it takes another layer of almost like quote unquote air quotes hacking to get to this third level of credentials that you're trying to do. Like you have to, it's not just building a wiki. Like you have to establish yourself in like colleges or on planets or in a hospital or something. You know, like you don't have a license.
Well, I can make up one here. That's what.
Yeah, but you don't know what one looks like.
That's pretty much
that's what you're trying to do, but you're getting like shut out every time.
Forgotten.
Unfortunately,
what they look like.
You've yet to make the DC. You go through it all again. The roll wasn't bad. Like I said, you solidify the first and second layers, but you're not able to get that third layer. So if someone spent time looking at you afterwards, like for a long time, you know that they could find out who you are.
Existence is pain. Wait, they could find out who I am or find out that it's a fake?
Find out it's a fake, and with information in the world, you get the sense to find out who you are. But with that, you guys all are able to come together. As you all kind of talk over everything that happened, and then we'll go into the next round. So this is your chance to kind of, now that everybody, Moat, Tetsu, everyone is finally together.
All right, do we want to do this
Yeah.
in summary form though? Like, do you want us to speedrun it a little?
Yeah, let's we'll say obviously, unless somebody says you don't tell them, like if Tetsu's like, I don't tell them about my Kanobo me or something, like then everyone relays everything that has happened, so everyone knows everything. And we have 5 more rounds. Let's summarize those 5 more rounds real quick of like what everyone wants to do, just to keep it sane. You guys can talk out of character between each other first, and then we can turn order it of like, Moat, what are 2 real important things you want to learn? Tetsu, what are 2 real important things you want to learn? Et cetera, et cetera. But
yeah.
So let's say better surveillance, proper surveillance,
Yes.
exits in and outs of the building itself. What else do we need?
Well, Tetsu thinks we can get basically like a live feed of where the guards are moving with this device, because it shows pretty much everybody, and the guards would therefore want to know where the other guards are, because that's how you keep surveillance on stuff.
Does it show it?
Right?
the guards are not denoted on this data pen.
But like they're on there as a dot of like a person, right? But
the
not,
guards
like,
are not
highlighted?
denoted on this data pen.
This is a terrible
Like
data pen.
even the normal people aren't denoted on this data pen. Like
Just the yellow
you-
guys.
Only yellow flags?
Yellow and red, but you don't see any red in the emissary or business district.
Are there
red
other
in general?
yellows here?
I'll say Tetsu's seen like one red like pop up like on the edge of what this data pad is reading, and so he knows they're red in general. And yes, there's like 2 more yellows within the emissary district.
That's surprising.
Can we identify them and see if or at least the whatever match that they're claiming them to be, to see if that will give us more information and more people that we can maybe like pin something on or whatever.
If that's one of your actions, sure.
And yeah, I'm asking the group.
Well, what Tetsu wants to do is see if he can basically flag everybody. Because it's hard to remove a flag, but is it easy to flag everybody? Because
No.
if I can't hide myself, I can hide myself through everybody. Is my thought.
But if you were to flag everybody, you need the same tech that they used at the entrance to, scan and flag them. Probably.
Right.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
saying
like,
it doesn't have to be
everything
like I could flag like any person to a name. Like it doesn't have to be good data, but just basically throw flags everywhere to just visually make it confusing. Was my
I'll tell you that it'd take a hacking check. It wouldn't be super hard. It would also be like the biggest red flag to every guard around you.
Right. This
To
is
see
more
a
of
bunch
a
of yellows popping up.
for sure. It's more of a time to get out, but I don't want them to know where I'm going. It's more of
It's
just
possible.
a distraction.
It's possible. The problem is you don't think you could like hack your way there and then sit there and wait, if that makes sense. So it would be like oh shit, we need to go. Let me make a hacking check and then flag everybody yellow. If I fail the hacking check, that sucks.
It's a very good
Yeah.
way. Shit.
It's a smoke
Everything
bomb.
went tits up. Let's
Cover
get
the
out
escape.
of here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's our escape plan.
that's what I want to do, is just figure out if I can do that.
Perfect. All right, so we have one thing for our escape plan. We have more surveillance and all that good stuff. Do we, do you guys want to identify, because we have, I mean, I don't know if we really need to like count all this out, but I think we have enough rounds and or whatever to also see if we can utilize other yellow flags just to, like, as people.
We need to get into that science man's building.
Moat
that's part of the finding. Yeah,
that's surveillance. I'm sorry, not
Yeah,
moat.
We need to find an access point for security, right? Like literally, so we can hack things. We need to find a place where we can. Like,
I want to access technology
turn off
I have
cameras and junk.
Yeah, I have my quick scan. I have my very quick hacking. Can we? Can you tell? We know we're gonna do surveillance, so can you help us? Can you give us Waffles the information of the surveillance to help us decide if we want to hack into anything? Does that make sense? Because we wouldn't know.
Sure. Yeah. I'll go and tell you, blanket surveillance without going inside the building itself gets you no access points. Vivi does come back. She gives you a quick, like, okay, if we need to get down, there's a mountain jump off right here. And you can go to this rock, blah, blah, blah. And we'll take care of that if it comes down to it. And you kind of pull her with you to all of this. You find that there is an access point into the building. Now, let me remind you that going into the building is dangerous and therefore will require rolls. But you find that there's an access point into the building through a kind of storm cellar door that you get the sense would lead down. It is not locked. You don't know like why it's not locked, all that good stuff, but you do find it.
Perhaps this is where the
That's sus.
queen comes through. Private. The storm cellar door is to his building, to inside the appropriate building.
Where it is located, you get the sense. You haven't followed it. You don't have a map, etc., etc.
I would like to make just I have a question. I don't know if this requires a roll or what have you, but if I wanted to King Kong up the side of this building, what is my feeling in terms of like the patrols and whatnot? And like, is there like a spot where I feel like I could try to like King Kong my way up the side of the building if we didn't want to go through the like?
You would need a huge distraction, like Dr. Lin hallucination type distraction.
Right.
Or a natural 20.
Okay.
Just flat out.
And what's the distance between the top of the I assume I can't actually know this, but what's the distance between the top of like one of the outer buildings and the inner building? I assume that they're not like parallel to each other.
No, they're not the same. It's probably a solid like 50 to 70 feet.
Okay.
Like that building, like the steeples itself of the building that has the flags on it, like it's probably a good 70 feet up, and then the towers themselves are like a good 50 feet up.
Got it. All right.
Going back to like we said, it was like a Disney castle type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions from y'all?
I have just kind of a question to Tetsu, like Len would ask if he has his like needle gun, just in case.
Oh, yes, I do.
And did they put that like substance stuff on it when he was going through, or
no? Well, Waffles didn't say they did, but
yeah, I'm gonna say they didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't put any kind of, like, they checked it for ammo, no ammo in there. They didn't put any kind of substance on it.
That brings up a good point, though. Can I, using Dr. Len's brain and my own and whatever substances we did bring, can we try to find a way to open basically Aizen's sword and everything else that we need?
I don't need it.
You don't need it?
I can just use my
Does anybody
hand.
have a weapon that needs it? Like
my pistol wasn't touched either, so.
Okay.
Basically anything non-lethal or lethal that didn't have ammo was not sealed.
Did anybody bring something lethal with the other person bringing ammo that we need to like? You know what I mean? Did we separately do something like that?
Yeah. Wasp's ammo is in Tetsu's arm.
Okay, so let's just say that one of the things is that we swip and swap whatever we need to, so that everybody is ready to go with that.
I'm gonna stop that real quick as a GM. I don't like to say no a lot. I asked Tetsu if he had anything in his arm, and he said nothing except for my Starfinder badge. They would have taken any kind of ammo from Tetsu because he's a yellow flag.
Well, yeah, the only thing I had were the, I don't remember doing the moat thing, I guess. The only thing I know I had was the gun.
I thought we
had talked about it, but you didn't want to put it in there because you didn't want to put it in my arm because you thought we would get scanned like going in, like a metal.
All right. Well,
either way, it's either
I don't know.
taken or in a tree. I don't care either way, but
fine.
Moat doesn't have it on them.
All right, so we don't have anything lethal, but I know
in a
plenty
tree.
of us have non-lethal. So all right,
I
fine.
can give Moat my mercy pistol.
I mean, I have a pulse caster. I have something I can use. It's just Wasp is going to be strict surveillance at this point.
Okay, so we have plenty of surveillance. We have information. We have a potential way in, but we don't really have like disguises or anything if we're seen. But basically, once we get in, we need to not be seen because we're sus as heck as a group. So once we're in, what's the plan?
So we're not going to try and
Dr.
talk
Lin.
everyone?
What's that?
If Dr. Lin can distract the doctor, I can talk with the queen as the doctor.
Okay, I think
We said before that's iffy.
we did say before
Yeah,
that's
because you
iffy.
might need to, get it on. You know what I'm saying?
We assume
don't.
that the queen has the data pad right now, not the scientist. So we're going in and we have Dr. Len who spent his entire time mocking up credentials, so we darn better use it.
And I'm still not completely done, but we can talk about that later.
Okay. So we're gonna basically stick Dr. Ben on the other scientist as a knock proper, or can you like occupy him basically? Like, can we talk doctor to doctor?
Yes, and I'm sure I can engage him like that.
And then what, we just set ourselves up in there some way? Like what?
Well, actually, wouldn't he be in the party? Like, theoretically, until the queen comes, he's free to do whatever. He could just be around.
We don't know
Like,
where
why do we actually look for him?
I'll tell you
okay.
that question comes up when Vivi is around, and she gives you the sense that this person is kind of a introvert loner, like likely gonna stay in his building.
Okay.
I say Wasp at least gets in the room, and if I can get the data pad from the queen, I can at least get it to Wasp. If I can't get out right away, and then we have the data pad.
This brings to light something in my mind. I think you may be worth, you observing the scientist fellow before attempting to impersonate him. After all, it sounds like the two being him, the queen, are intimately familiar with each other.
Well,
I assumed you would talk with him before the queen shows up.
yes, and Jonathan,
and we
you
could
are
therefore
dressed
see him.
like private security. Just go with Dr. Ben, so you can be firsthand.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, but again, are we disposed? Making him indisposed? Like what? This is all real risky. So like, Jonathan can impersonate, but where's the real doctor? Are we?
Yeah.
For sure. Basically, what is y'all's plans once inside the building?
I think Dr.
Because
Lin
right now,
distracts.
hold on. Right now, just quick update. It sounds like the plan is to infiltrate the science building itself, never touching the Queen's building.
Yeah,
Right,
so-
she's
way
going to the
lower
science
security.
building.
Okay, so I think the next step is, what is the plan once inside the science building to make sure, one, you're not found out. Two, if you are found out, you're found out as not yourselves.
Sure.
3, you get exactly what you need, and then for any bonus stuff if you want to, like accessing a database or something.
I think
you're here for a reason. You're here for that data pad. So
right. I think Dr. Len, like the goal is to get Dr. Len to this doctor to strike up a conversation, to get the doctor away from where he'd normally be, let me see him, and that way I can position myself when the queen arrives to pretend to be him, and then we can do other stuff in that meantime.
I worry about my major concern is I worry about you being him, because if she tries to do anything flirtatious, like it immediately ruins your disguise.
Combusts. Well, look, we have an idea that, and we'll double check with VV this information, but my understanding is while also she has a thing with him, she does also conduct some form of business that is not the physical sciences.
Right, the physical sciences.
The reason she
I
has
will
the
make
data
sure
pad, right?
we do not do that.
She might have to hand off the data pad to the scientist as part of the thing that she wants for information on. So all you need to do is say, yes, okay, let me go run some diagnostics on it, make sure there's no countermeasures, go into the other room, hand it off to somebody else so it's not on you, and come back to her,
yes,
and then excuse yourself for a moment, and then we just have to get out.
Yes, that was my thought, is get out and make her think I'm just grabbing something and then I never return. Or I return, but it's not really me, it's the real doctor.
But even once the real doctor returns...
Not talking to Dr. Len anymore.
Yeah, like even once the real doctor returns, it is going to be 100% obvious that that wasn't the person she just talked to. So the second other person returns, we're out of there.
It might not.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
but then I can also hit the...
Yeah.
But then I can also hit the security pad and make everybody yellow flags, and then all the guards will be distracted right in their area and not know where to go.
Remind me how long your disguise lasts? Sorry.
30 minutes, half hour.
Okay.
Probably for the entire action phase if he wants.
Right. So,
I did just realize something. If we don't get him off the security camera first, they'll immediately know he's a yellow dot.
But they won't know when we start running and all the servants and everybody else starts running. There will be very many yellow dots running around.
He's saying
and
beforehand.
it will be very hard for them to find. Right,
yeah,
but don't...
Think of it this way. The queen is entering a chamber with a yellow dot.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yes. But the bodyguards are already not doing what bodyguards do. So I don't know that they will do
I got an idea.
I'll step in here real quick before this idea. Sorry. Just to kind of what each character would think, including Tetsu, Rodan, everyone, Aizen, blah, blah, blah. If Tetsu is on camera prior as a yellow dot, it will likely be bad. Whether that's bringing bodyguards in that shouldn't be there, whether that's the queen never showing up, it will change something. Second, you guys basically, like we're going to do a couple rolls here at the end, you guys basically think you're going to have a way in. You don't yet think you have, again, going back to Aizen, something for the surveillance. If cameras are constantly going, it's going to be bad. Remember, this is sci-fi. Like, there might be cameras in every room. Third, I guess this is kind of 3.1, like this is a reminder back to the first thing that I can really think of. If Tetsu is a yellow dot constantly throughout all of this, and the yellow dot is staying within one of these like emissary buildings for a long time, that can also bring up bad things.
All right, I got this. Ready, guys?
So our first thing is a root access point.
Are you guys ready?
Ready.
2 teams. Go. Team Tech, Team Face. So, things that need to happen with Team Tech. Infiltrate. This is without Tetsu, so no yellow dot. Infiltrate first. Because this is also where the servers are. right?
That's
Maybe, yes.
for all intents and purposes. You think this is where the server should be.
Okay, so we go in and I hack and I have my erase spell. I have, lots of things for surveillance and other stuff. So we go in while sus and trying to stay out of light. We just need to get quote unquote root access. So we need to do two things. These are two goals. So as many hacker people that come in with us as possible is better. So maybe Moat, you're with us too, or whoever. But it's gonna be get yellow dot Tetsu off of the map. There's still the other aspect of getting everybody to be a yellow dot if needed, because it just will throw everybody off. But if we can just get you not to be a yellow dot, that's the most important thing, because you're the one that needs to transform into the doctor. So we need to get the yellow dot removed, and as well turn off surveillance if possible as a bonus. But in the end, I care more about getting the yellow dot removed than cameras.
Right.
Could we possibly feed the cameras a looping feed or something rather than just shut them off?
Yes. Whatever.
Yeah, but the most important thing to that point is getting rid of the yellow dot.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I totally agree. Yeah.
priority number 1, get rid of yellow dot. Priority 2, loop cameras, or otherwise just make sure that we're not seen. And if that means me erasing data and other stuff, we'll figure that out, as well as hacking. And I want aid.
There's
on
also
hacking.
there's also the ability that I've got. I can short circuit any electronic device, making
Sexy.
it non-functional for a round. So if we can get into like a server room, I can start shutting down servers,
Or even the
for
door
one
to
round
get us
each,
through the door
causing
into the
reboots.
server room.
Mm-hmm.
What happen if you shut down a door that doesn't unlock it automatically? It
Okay.
will just basically make it not functional.
Okay. So maybe Eisen, you come with us for bodyguard and some concrete
Yes.
muscle as well. Okay, so I think we'll have these 3 versus 2 again, potentially, but we'll see if we need be. Once that's in the all clear, we let you all know. Second round of infiltration is Dr. Ben and his bodyguard having a meeting with the scientist. Okay, pick whatever story you want, whether you are here to write an article about him and his latest and greatest invention or whatever, but you need to probably maybe stick some hallucinogenics into him, and you need to get him out of the main room. So wherever his experiments are, wherever he needs to go, you need to get him out of there, so that where you walk in when the queen arrives, it is going to just be Jonathan alone. Okay?
As doctor.
As the doctor.
I think to that being said, it would be very worth it to try and figure out where they are meeting and when, because I am going to either need to inject him with a lot of drugs or strike up a very interesting conversation, preferably the latter, I must say.
Yeah.
But yes, that information would be a boon.
Yeah, so that's going to be, you're going to have to try to get some information while you're talking to him. Be like, I'm so sorry to bother you. I know this was unannounced type of a deal, but like, how much time do you have before your next meeting? Like that kind of a thing, to see if we could get a little bit of that info. Good luck with the diplomacy checks or the bluff checks.
Oh, you're meeting with the queen into drugs.
And then if that just means
And needle.
so that's the other thing, right? If there are any cameras in the guy's office or something like that someone can literally be watching you inject him with something. So TLDR, team tech is going to be very, very, very important to this. But
I think Vivi should also be the center person, where she's watching the
go.
movement of guards, right, making sure that we're keeping time.
she said that
in case of
she
whatever.
can't go in.
She
Right,
will
she's
not be
she's-
going in the buildings.
She's not going into the building. She's just watching for the chaos. Even if,
Sure.
if anything goes wrong, she will know, even if she's close to.
She's our
anyone.
lookout. She's
Just
our
tell-
lookout. She's making sure we have that exit direction, which she already informed us of, and she's going to plant herself somewhere outside that she has a good, clean eye on guards, and she will message us if anything shifty is happening or noticed. Okay?
Get us a hover car.
I'm not here to rush y'all,
But I think that's it.
but does this plan sound good?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that plan.
I think so.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
This is
A
gonna
little
go so
long.
bad.
So bad.
We're gonna go a little long because I want to get this plan started. I don't just want to end here. It'd be a little unfortunate. So, everybody, go and give me a d20. Flat
Just
d20.
flat?
Just a flat d20.
Now
Nice.
I get better
Nice to
rolls.
use.
19.
19.
Some
Eisen's on
info
fire
there.
tonight. It's as if he's
12.
like he's trained for these or something as a bodyguard.
Oh, for flavor though, even though we figured all this out, for flavor and roleplay, Zeha is, aside from business, is like avoiding eye contact with Eisen and like trying not to talk to you.
Eisen doesn't understand. Eisen is
Perfectly
just
fine.
totally going past Eisen's head.
All right. Zeha, 19. Give me one. Everybody, we're going to go through all the roles. Give me one question that you want to know.
In terms of what, the prep?
Anything. Yeah, the prep itself, basically. But
As much technology information on the security.
okay. With your natural 19, you are able somehow, whether that's like Wasp going in or you being able to take a step in, etc., you're able to find out that there are, at the very least, cameras in the basement proper, which is where the storm door leads to. And those cameras there is no like database for the cameras in the basement. That's what you're able to find out with that natural 19. Like, for sure, no database for the cameras. You could kill them, like shoot them, but you can't like hack them from the basement.
How many do I get to know?
Yeah, there's 2. They get about 85% of the room in the places that they are.
Okay, so like,
You basically have to stand in the corner.
but like one, I
And
can handle
to
it
not
one
be
at a
seen.
time. Potentially. Like it's one in one corner, one in the other. They're not like,
Yes, but they're not moving, and they're not moving to where you could just run a good line when they move, if that makes sense. They're statically 85% of the room, and you would have to stand in a corner to not be seen, kind of thing.
Okay.
All right. Dr. Lin, with your 9, what do you want to know?
Does rounding out my portfolio count as knowing something, can that be done with like the help of other tech folk?
I'll say that if Moat spends his entire last 5 rounds helping you, that you would round it out. I think he's the only one that could get you there because of stuff.
Mhm.
But say how you've already gone. Say how you could probably get him there too. But
Moat, if you have something else you want to do, then I suppose we can leave it at that.
Wait, Tetsu doesn't have much to do, and here's how I think Tetsu could help.
that's a good.
What?
You rolled a natural 6, so you're not gonna be able to have the time, the concentration, or the what you actually need to do it because of your roll, unfortunately.
You're mean.
Sorry. Get wrecked by the GM. All right, what's up, Dr. Lin?
If Len asks and needs help with that, Moat can spend that time to help get that, provided we know that's going to be useful to provide credentials that would get you in.
And I think
That could be very helpful.
keeping them from tracking us afterwards, that's the big thing on my mind. Because we have enough crazed governments after us.
Yeah. But yeah, to the point that you're speaking with Zeha, since Moat's going to be on that team, Moat definitely wants to make use of the short-circuiting ability to help take out one camera at a time. So it's like, short one out, kill it, short the other out, kill it.
well, yeah, that's actually my question. Is this the action? Or like, are we there yet?
No, we're not in the action phase yet.
Not in action.
So
But
I would say not to do that yet because of reasons.
No, not yet, of course. I'm talking about like when we're actually going. I'm just
Okay.
trying to add on to what your plan of dealing with them one at a time is. I just want to toss that in there before I forgot
Sure,
about it.
but if you're helping
no,
Tetsu, you can't do anything else.
Yeah, no, I'm just helping Lynn.
Or
That's
Dr.
all
Lynn,
I'm
sorry.
doing for this time.
Okay. Perfect. Dr. Lynn and Motor taken care of. Dr. Lynn, it literally takes these last 5 rounds as like 4 hours of work with like while Zeha is getting the information on these cameras, making the plan with everybody, but you get that third set of security set up for yourself. Again, I'll remind you, it's not like pristine, nobody can figure it out, period. Like everything can be hacked, you don't have security on the security kind of thing, but your information is out there on the internet, and if somebody looked it up and didn't do a deeper dive on that, you're good on the third set right now. Eisen, natural 19. What do you want to find out?
He is looking for a route to the surveillance room. If you can find out where the surveillance room is, that's what his thing is. So he's using things like his knowledge in bodyguarding, his like natural like sensitivity to energy waves. He's looking for anything that will help zone in on like a giant drain of electrical magnetic energy that would point to that's where the surveillance room is, and here's a way it in.
Server room, right? Or surveillance room?
Yes, like yeah, the server.
Okay.
I was
main
about to say
surveillance-
server room or surveillance room. There's a difference here.
I'm looking for the main hub that is the server room that I assume that all the electronics is based off of. That's
Okay.
That's what I'm going off of.
You, through all your different checks, like you said, you can kind of feel electricity. You kind of know where bodyguards would hide this kind of thing, like all that good stuff. You get the sense it's on the first floor of this science building. You kind of looking over the building really quickly, like through glancing through windows and stuff with your natural 19. It's a not well kept building, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the closest I can equate it to is like a like looking through windows is like a bachelor pad. Like it's just dirty here, dirty there. Like you can't really tell what room is what. There's no kitchen, that kind of stuff. But you do see this hallway, and through one of your glances of the window, you see 2 doors across from each other. And the open door just happens, you glance in, is a bathroom. Therefore, the other one across can't be a bathroom. And just how this house is set up, you get the sense that it's probably something else. So
Great.
that's kind of where your mind goes to where the server room is. First floor across from the bathroom.
I don't know if this is going too far, but do I feel like this window is trapped? I can make a.
You can't get through it.
I can't.
If you're trying to like get through it. It's like a. You ever seen them like low basement windows in movies? It's kind of like
my
that
old
but on the
house.
first floor.
Yep.
Okay, got it. It's too small. If like, it's not that I couldn't break it and like try to get through. It's just too narrow.
Yeah, you just couldn't get through it. Moat probably couldn't get through it, like with his body.
It's one of those where like the
Their
ground
body.
goes under, like it goes
It was
deeper, and then it's
them.
blocked off with the thing. And
Basically, yeah. Okay, and then the last one. Nope, that was last one. Mr. Natural 6 Tetsu. What do you want to do?
Yeah. Apparently nothing.
What do you want to attempt to find out? You're gonna get something because it's 5 rounds. So
Yeah. Then basically, can I just kind of talking around get a sense of the buildings and like I can't Google this guy effectively, but like, can I get any sense of information about him? Because I'm about to pretend to be him. Just from like the people around here, and just
sure,
kinda,
yeah. You kind of like bump elbows with some of the guards. You're talking to some of the like patrons, like passing by, that kind of stuff. You get the sense this guy has always been a shut-in. He doesn't come out for parties and or really anything else, even if it's not a festival. You also get the sense that he just doesn't fit in here. You don't know why, you don't know how. That's with your natural 6, unfortunately. That's just all you get. He should not be in Elfland.
Okay. Any sense of like the kind of work he does?
Robotics. That's all you really get.
Okay. That's it then.
Yeah, and just kind of doubles down on, for sure, he probably works on robotics, but you don't get any more than that.
Yeah. It's all good. Let's do this.
All right. I'm stalling because we're waiting on Zeha.
Scared.
Dang it, Zeha.
I'm so hyped though.
I throw a grenade in the building.
It blows up and you hear a bunch of puppies yelping.
How much XP do I get for the killed puppies?
-5.
Dang it.
Can't kill puppies to level up.
Yes, you can.
No, you better not, boy.
You shouldn't, but you can.
Alright. Let's see. So, still waiting on Zeha. Does anyone know exactly what they're doing that doesn't influence Zeha whatsoever?
Pretty much going in and
waiting.
talking to the dude.
I am
Okay.
playing muscle to make sure that Zeha and Moat can get to that server room.
Are you trying to go
problem.
through like the front door, Dr. Lin?
Yeah,
so.
I'd say so. Yeah, with my nifty bodyguard, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going with him once I'm unflagged, because and I will know if I'm unflagged or not, because I.
So you guys are trying to unflag Tetsu first.
Right. The infiltration team's going in, doing their voodoo with the security system, and then we're going in after the fact to chat up people and be clean.
Okay.
Well,
That's going to leave you guys around to not do anything, but okay,
Right.
I'm down.
The whole point is we go and sink it.
All
I
right.
mean, if you want, you could give us cover for your first round if you're looking for like things to do.
Well, if they want to do that, that's cool. Infiltration team. We're going to go through one round here. How does this go? You got the storm door. What's going on?
So, first things first. I don't know if this how are we in initiative? Is this rounds? How are you? This is still a little bit more flexible.
It's by rounds. It's going to be like you can't do a shit ton of stuff. Like an hour is not passing, but like maybe 30 seconds is passing kind of thing. Like you can do basically get the sense you can do one thing. You can hack a computer. You can disable a guard. Like those are, but there are roles involved. Like
Okay, so using my sensing of technology, I want to just make this clear. It's technically an action to quick scan, and which is just basically like wave my hand in front of something and I'll know what's generally on it or something like that. So I want to use that a little bit creatively. So for example, the cellar door or something like that. So this is going to be applied throughout anywhere we're going. I'm going to wave my hand over the door first before we actually go in, and that's just a way for me to know, is there technology attached to it in the sense of a trap or something?
there's none.
Okay, and I just want you to know, like, I'll basically be doing that as we go through.
Okay.
But in terms of what we're actually doing, looking at those two cameras from somewhere safely out of sight of them, instead of making both go down, Moat, I'm scared that will be a little bit of a, oh, let's go check it out. But if one goes down, something messed up with it, right? So can we have one go down and very carefully go around to not be seen by the second camera?
That is definitely possible.
Yes.
Let's think through how we're gonna get it to go down. So, are you wanting to essentially shoot it down and have that how it goes down, or how do you want to? Because my short circuit lasts for 1 round.
Okay.
Lasts for 1 round, and I can do 1 item for a single action. Lasts for 1 round, and I can only do it on the same item after a minute has passed.
Okay. Do we want to do that and get us in and then deal with it for the others that come after from the server room? Or do we want to permanently take it down so that they can go through easy?
Well, they're going through the front door. Like they're
Are
gonna
they?
like not yeah to
We need to
meet
be
with
on the first floor.
Yeah, to meet with the doctor, they're literally gonna go up to his door and say,
Okay.
"I want to have a meeting."
Then let's
So
temporarily
it's just
one
us getting
round
through.
get it through. Yeah, and then that way
Yeah.
there's nothing sus about it. Comes right back up
Exactly.
behind us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if need be,
so
if the
it's-
door is locked, we do have a specialized lock picking kit, so we
Okay.
can get through most locked doors.
So it's Zeha and Eisen attempting to get through while Moat like holds the camera, basically.
No, it
It's
lasts
all three
for
of
the
us.
round, so all three of us are going
Yeah.
through. I
Alright,
can
so-
help.
Moat, what's the range on this?
I can do it through Wasp, so 2,500 feet. As long as Wasp
Well,
is adjacent to a technological item, I can overcharge
Adjacent
through
though,
Wasp.
it's like touch.
Right. So, for example, if they were in top corners on opposite sides of the room, I could have Wasp like crawl up the wall next to one, be adjacent to it. Once we're ready to make our way in whatever path we think is safe to travel, once that one camera is out of commission, short circuit it. All of us move to get to where we need to, and then
Wasp joins us, and that's it.
Wasp joins us later.
Okay. Give me a stealth check then. Moat can do it.
Can
Shit.
will we need to make a roll to get through around? So basically,
Unfortunately not. This is all on Moat. Like you guys are just gonna no. Like the only way you could really help a camera not seeing Wasp is by being seen yourself. And then that's just like your help would alert people, if that makes sense.
Okay, how about this then? I'm going to have a race at the ready just in case. All right. It is a actual spell, which is kind of scary. I don't know if I want to use it for this, but it's.
No. I hear
Now,
you.
do you-
I'll go ahead and tell you as Zeha, like this camera itself also doesn't store data.
Right.
It's a live feed.
Now,
so
do you
see it
want
or not
my
see it.
stealth check, or do you want Wasp's stealth check?
Moat can be taking Wasp and then like activate standard action Moat runs kind of thing. Like so, I know we don't have a map out here, but basically this staircase leads down. There's a wall, and then imagine this room is kind of rectangular. Obviously, it has some weird curves to it, blah blah blah, because it's a basement room. But the cameras are, for the most part, in two opposite corners. How I imagine it is Wasp is trying to get into the top right-hand corner, but Moat can be waiting around this wall, commanding Wasp, and then when Wasp uses the standard action for the like casting the spell through it, Moat can take off and for the sake of this kind of thing, we're gonna say can get to like out of the camera range.
Okay.
So basically, if Wasp doesn't get seen, everything's fine.
Let's do this. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. 3.
That's a 3.
Hey.
They,
So,
Plus 38.
oh, you wish. So this is going to be my last
Cheeky nugget.
nugget.
oh,
Okay.
Ugh.
This
It's
is
a good time to use it.
this is a good time to use it.
Oh no.
That face looks
He's
like
talking
it's
with
the
us.
same thing.
yeah,
Yeah, it does.
it's either worse or it's much, much better.
It's a 3.
A 1?
Natural
one.
one.
Oh,
Nice. That I love chicken
Ooh,
nuggets
cruel
because
fate.
they're not D&D advantage. You have to take the second one,
And they don't even work. They're a scam.
and they don't even work. They always go worse. What's up, Zeha?
Can I do something at the ready then?
Sure. Even though you didn't know this natural one was gonna happen, yeah, you can do something. What's up?
Well,
What do you want to do?
Basically,
she was
what
preparing an action. Yeah.
I want to have my psychokinetic hand at the ready,
Okay.
and basically, should anything go wrong, I'm going to, with my psychokinetic hand, literally push the camera to point in a different direction. It's not
that would be
ideal,
better.
but it's something.
For sure. And again, what's happening at the front door? Like, you guys are literally waiting till they're in, and then you're going?
We're not even at the front door. We're like just partying until like we get the go ahead, basically.
Okay. All right. So what happens? Wasp is kind of attempting to crawl across the ceiling because that's the best way to not get seen. Wasp hits this space in the ceiling that is like some kind of gunk / hole. Like maybe there was a beer spill like up on the ceiling or something. Like,
Very
yes,
acidic.
I see all the weird looks. Hear me
As
out.
often happens.
As often happens. But there's something weird that, like, literally it's like some kind of gunk that is sticky, and Wasp is like trying to pull its leg out, and like half of its body kind of flops down, having like half of its legs come out while the other half is sticking in. And you guys know what that immediate second, like, Wasp is seeing. Like, there's no chance. Like, you knew it was a tight window, and when Wasp like flops down, like, Wasp is seeing. So what do you do?
I'm going to just push the camera away from Wasp and like towards basically like what, Wasp fell, you said?
Kinda, like, didn't fall off the ceiling to the floor. It's like it's
just,
hanging
like,
with its
dangling
3
and
left legs. Yeah, basically. Like, imagine like a spider almost falling off the ceiling kind of thing.
So I don't have like range of where like the other camera is or whatever.
Sure.
But let's just say that I push it to basically 1, Wasp is not in frame. 2, so like, oh, it falls and it's like, and I push the camera, right? 2, I want to put the camera somewhere that we still have like I would generally put it to the ceiling, but if Wasp is there, then can I point it to like the corner ceiling away or something like that so that we can still basically pass through, and then as soon as we're on the other side, I'm gonna push the camera back down so that maybe they think that it just weirdly glitched or something where like, you know, it was
Sure. Go ahead and give me a mysticism check for this.
Okay.
Just because it spells.
22.
Okay. You get it to push towards the corner, and like it wasn't planned, so you're like telling everyone to run. Eisen and Moat, give me let's do a reflex saving throw.
Not stealth? Oh.
No, because it wasn't planned, and you're literally just running.
Oh, Moat.
Vote with the
Not
9.
my day.
10.
9 and 10 on reflex saving throw. Okay, it takes y'all a while. Like, Zeha's like 2 arms, Bill pushes this camera to the side, and then other 2 arms is like waving you guys, and you don't. What's up, Ivan?
I don't know if my DC changes, but I do have Jet Dash, which increases my like speed of things.
If it doesn't increase your reflex saving throw, it doesn't
Okay.
help.
Oh,
This
okay.
is like mind reaction for all intents
Reaction
and
time.
purposes.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah, I'm
fast.
trying. Yeah.
Yep. But Zeha's other 2 arms kind of like are trying to wave y'all. Eventually you look and you're like, oh shit, like we're supposed to be going. It's like 2 extra seconds have passed. You dash. Zeha pushes the camera back, but like Zeha, that camera stayed there for like 5 seconds.
Yep.
And you know that's not good, but you're all on the other side of it, and likely nothing got seen by it, minus the wall and where it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, like, the thing is I don't know how the surveillance is. I don't know if there's people watching this. Like, we don't know. It's the best that could have outcome that we could deal with right now. So,
Sure.
Yes.
No alarms are going off currently.
Yeah. We deal with it.
For that, I will say that basically this is when you guys are going to give everyone else the go. Correct?
We're waiting.
No.
We're waiting for them to do a computer check to basically
We are infiltrating
take care of the
first,
security system.
all the way, and getting that dot out before they enter the building.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Well, then
you
do-
said we'd be screwed if he was caught as a dot on camera.
Yeah. Yellow flag
Sure.
not going in building.
Sure. All right, you guys stay outside.
Let's just say for the time that you guys are outside, like, you're keeping eyes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Well, yeah.
You guys
I mean,
are-
I'm looking at
you
the
guys-
data pad and stuff.
Yep. You guys are
Yeah.
keeping eyes. Nothing really changes. Basically at the end of this round, Zeha, Moat, and Eisen, give me a perception check.
May I also be keeping an eye on like what the guards within sight are doing, like in case they like snap to their like wires and are like, oh my goodness, someone's infiltrating.
Sure. Dr. Lin and Tetsu, you can give me a perception check too.
Does the data pad have like bulletin like alerts from the guard? Because it's a guard's pad. Like, does it have like security alert kind of things?
You haven't seen one yet. I mean, you imagine as a bodyguard that it would be like blah blah, like big thing happening in the Queen's embassy, like all guards report.
It's a very
Also,
loud Metal
It
Gear
should be
alert
super
noise.
useful.
reminder.
But you haven't seen one.
Reminder for VV to also be on the lookout.
VV's on the lookout.
All right, just a reminder.
Sure.
Did she
She's
tell us her
got-
escape plan?
These perceptions, though.
Yes, she told you the escape plan. About this like quick like little rock get off on the side where you wouldn't have to go down some stairs, but it probably shouldn't be a hard jump kind of thing. These perceptions.
Just watch.
We got 22 from Eisen,
19
Zeha, 19 Dr. Lin, 19 Moat, 20 Tetsu. All right.
We're all on edge.
Good rolls, Moat.
Basically,
We see it
everybody's
coming.
on edge. Tetsu, Dr. Lin, and VV all kind of standing outside. Tetsu and Dr. Lin, you don't see anything going crazy outside. Like, no one's really reacting to anything. VV's like giving you the same thing. She's like, none of the guards are acting crazy. Let's keep preparing yourselves. Like, keep chill. Like, she's like walking by, like almost pacing the place kind of thing. Zeha, Moat, and Eisen, you guys are all kind of basically at the foot of the stairs that would go up to the first floor. And you just hear this kind of like on the other side of the door, almost muffled, like, motherfucker, like, how did he kill me like that? And that's where we're going to end the session.
He's
What?
playing a video
He's
game.
totally playing a video
Bro.
game. I'm sorry.
Oh
Wait, what is it
my
called?
Bro.
Starfinder? What's it called? Starfinder. Vid
A
games.
vid game, I think.
Vid
Yeah,
game.
vid game.
Vid games. All right,
Vid game.
perfect.
COD.
Yeah.
He's playing
Odd.
League of Legends.
COD 3820.
Oh my god, amazing.